I've covered for you long enough. I might sound a little rough. I'm wearing orange now and so you did this and now Scott. Now I know why. Now I know why. Now I know why. It was you, Scott, you, and now I know why. I asked you where your dad was. Where was Big Daddy? You got so angry when I went to feed the baby goat. Now Scott, now I know why. Now I know why. Now I know why. It was you, Scott, you, and now I know why.
Get up.
Where your dad was. Where was Big Daddy? You got so angry when I went to feed the baby goat. Now Scott, now I know why. Now I know why. Now I know why. It was you, Scott, you, and now I know why. I am hella mad and burning with rage, Scott, and now I know why.
When she was upset with Gary to leave, she talked about, she said, my response
I am hella mad and burning with rage, Scott, and now I know why. Now I know why. Now I know why. It was you, Scott, you, and now I know why. Now I know why. It was you, Scott, you, and now I know why. I am hella mad and
know Scott,
burning with
fully
rage,
Scott.
Scott, and now I know why.
Burning with rage. Justin, are you burning with rage at Scott? Are you? Goodness me. Seraph is like, I must come in. I must come in. Okay, hang on a minute. I bring in Ilya and let's let Seraph in. Hang on a
Hey,
second. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hang on
wonderful.
2 seconds. I just need,
Oh
need to
boy.
let Seraph in.
I'm the captain now. I'm the captain. How's everybody doing? Let's see. Why are you not live yet? God damn it, David. Let's see. Nem, how are you? Rochelle. Mavka. Justin.
It's been a little while since a
Aw.
Seraph sighting. Look. Hello. Hi,
Who's alive?
everybody. Hi. Hey, everyone. Hi. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hello. Hi. Hey. Seraph is here, everyone. He went out for a morning stroll.
Aw,
He did. I've decided I trust him a little bit more now.
that's good.
Because, yeah, look, he was climbing the walls and just being really angry and weeing everywhere and just generally being hateful. And for those who don't know, if you haven't been around here long enough or whatever, earlier in the year, we had another cat, and because this one's really old, he's 18. But we had like a little cat who was 2 years old, and she went missing and didn't come back. And we've had another little kitty who's replaced her because that was my daughter's cat, and that's Suni. Anyway, but this one here went looking for her, right? Like actually went looking for her and went missing for a week, and I thought my baby Seraph was gone forever. And then he turned up back home, and it was the best day ever, right? But then I kept him indoors for ages, right? Because he'd been around a long time, and this is like from before even when you were allowed to, like, see, laws have changed and now you're not allowed to have cats outside, right? But he's used to having his outdoor time, right? And so he got really, really mad And now, since he's been indoors for so long, and he's an old cat, he's decided that he only wants to go outside just to like do his business and have a little bit of a stretch, and then he's fine to come back in. So he only goes
Good.
outside for a little bit, doesn't he? He's quite trustworthy. He's proven himself to be trustworthy. Yeah, he's much happier now. Yeah, you're not really supposed to have cats outside, Mavka. If you do, then like they're likely to get picked up and taken to the pound. Yeah, because supposedly they kill wildlife. Yeah, and we're very protective of our wildlife here. Are you guys allowed to have cats outside over there?
Yeah. We do.
Yeah.
It's not typically a good idea, but
Mm,
some people do.
yeah, yeah. So like when we lost the other one, people like I put her picture up on Facebook and I got flamed by people for like, you're a cat murderer by letting your cat outside. You deserve everything you get. And I'm like, okay, fine. Don't help them. Kathy's here. Hiya, Hella, and all in chat love the kitty cat. Oh, this is Seraph. He's the cuddliest bug in the world. Yeah. All right. Hey, everybody. Hey, Claude Simeon. Hella, is your accent Australian or did you spend time growing up in another country? It doesn't sound Oz to me, but I'm not sure. Oh, yeah,
No,
I'm an
it's
Aussie.
it's Japanese.
Oh, Japanese. I have lived in one city, in one country my entire life. I live in Brisbane, Australia, and that is it. I am an Aussie. I'm just like not like full on Ocker Aussie, like, oi, mate, like that. I can do oi, mate, but I'm from the city, so I'm a bit gentrified. I'm a bit gentrified. Hell is in America. Yeah, yeah. I'm in Florida, really.
Yeah.
Cats are allowed outside here in the US. It upsets neighbors when they kill birds and potty in people's gardens. Oh, yeah. So I've found when I lost the other one. Oh, you're so cuddly today, aren't you? See, he's so happy because he just got to go outside and poo. Okay.
Makes sense.
Everyone's happy once they go outside to poo. Australia is in a bunker in Sean's backyard. Oh, yeah, of course. It's always in Ohio. Alrighty, let's get into it, guys.
Let's go, chat.
Let's go, guys. Let's go chat. Hey, Nam, how are you? Mavka Mangione. They are generally pronounced right, but E at the end is not an I. Oh, is it? Okay. Hey, Erica. Snivels. Snivels is here with the fire D. Oh, before we start, right, well, so we're playing a game because yesterday we got up to 25 gifted memberships. Thank you everyone who contributed to the 25 gifted memberships. We still need more because we have more emojis to make. Yeah, you can go for a walk up there. That's okay. Okay, so we haven't made the new emoji yet because we all get to decide together what the emoji is. And today's a perfect day for it because the testimony is going to be some crime scene photos. So we have one of the law enforcement officers testifying, and he's going to bring in lots of photos of things that were around the house and around the barn. Supposedly, you're supposed to infer from that ways that this little tiny lady could have possibly gotten this giant dude onto the burn pile, right? So we're going to look at all that and we get to all decide together what the emoji is that we got to yesterday. But if we get up to another 25 gifted memberships, we get to make 2. Yay. All right. So you guys all get to contribute to what we decide will be the emojis. And I can even make them today and put them into chat today. Easy. No problem. Because I'm quick like that. I'm talented.
Like a bunny.
That. Narcissist. You're a narcissist. You are. All right, let's get into it, everybody. Oh, Laura's here. Hello.
Hey.
Did you know that it's fairly common in the South to debark dogs?
Yeah.
That is terrible.
It's pretty rare
That's
here.
so bad. Oh, we're always going to keep Free Zachariah Anderson. That one's never going. That one stays forever. Okay. Let's go. do circle and square because that's what I do for this one. And go. Hello, Melody. Aren't you looking pretty today?
Oh,
So this is day 2, but she's pretty much wearing the same clothes.
rawr.
No turtleneck, but still the pearls and the black. Okay. She looks perpetually sad.
I wonder why.
Oh, I did find out something about her yesterday. She was in jail for a while. She was in jail up until end of 2019. So she was in jail for a bit, but then she managed to get the $250,000 bond.
Okay.
So she did spend time in jail. She
Oh,
wasn't
sure.
like a delicate flower who didn't go into jail, but she did manage to get her bond together in the end. She's smiling? Oh no, guilty! Guilty, smiling assassin. Acting like she's been in jail for half a decade. Well, this was from 2017, sorry.
All right, my 2 jurors on the end there. Let the bailiffs get the chair for you because, I don't
Oh,
want
she's
you.
crying again.
We had an issue, I think, yesterday where one of y'all just tried to get in the camera line by.
Oh, one of
reaching
them
over
tried
and
to get in the
grabbing your
camera.
chair. So if y'all will stay
There's
out
a
of
good
that.
way to get dismissed.
Y'all shuffled up a little bit, didn't you?
Camera
All right.
over here.
So y'all have.
Can you live
We're
stream
going to tick
this,
that
Christine?
box
Of
on our grand
course.
social
That's fine,
experiment
love.
in which we see who
She's
stays
breathing.
in their seats or not.
Yeah.
All right, a couple of things to discuss with y'all. I told y'all again, wear your badges and everything. If you happen to, we don't have secure elevators from the rest of the building.
He's got pretty
so,
hands.
There's a chance you may.
Well, yeah, you didn't
share an
know he was a
elevator
hand
with
model
one
when he
of
was
the
younger.
lawyers.
He was a hand
If
model.
that happens, that's okay.
But was he master of his domain?
They want to make sure that you don't hold it against them if they
Not last night.
cower away from you and don't say good morning, and vice versa. So I think that may have happened with with one of the prosecutors. Again, that's not an issue. Just
What
make
happened to
sure
the
that y'all don't
prosecutor?
talk about anything.
Did he fall
or-
under a chair?
No, I think he rode
But
up with one of the
Usually
jurors
the
in the
lawyers
elevator.
don't want y'all to hold it
Oh.
against them if there aren't, your normal pleasantries.
A juror
exchanged
step
when
on
you
'em?
Bump into somebody in the hallway. Also, I've talked to Miss Baker and the court administrator about getting lunch for y'all. My plan at the
Miss
moment
Becky?
is for us to do
We'll
that
get lunch
maybe
for
every
y'all?
other day, starting tomorrow.
Oh, I just wanted to hear him
chat.
talk for a
Friday,
bit.
and y'all do lunch on your own.
Y'all
today
do lunch
and
on your own.
Thursday, and then we can kind of chat about it on Friday and whether y'all want to
She's
eat
like,
in
I
every
don't
day or
care.
not. My thought, if we do it on Friday, that we might maybe break a little early instead of going till 5:30. Again, that'll just depend on the witnesses, but we'll kind of see what y'all think about that as we go. All right.
Oh,
anything
she's
else we
smart.
need to take up before we get started, Mr. Focus?
She's baiting
All
her
right.
lawyer.
Go ahead and bring in your next witness.
Narcissist.
Police and court counsel at the time of state calls Lee Stewart,
Oh,
Lieutenant Stewart.
Aw. Lee
oh, the
Stewart,
jockey.
and I'm a wee man.
How does he find suits to fit? That must really
know.
cost a lot to
No, he
tailor
just
them,
goes
hey?
to the kids section of Men's Warehouse.
Manlet Warehouse.
What are those glasses he's wearing? Good lord, this guy did not get shoved into enough lockers as a kid. Boys Warehouse.
Hey, Bob. It's the start of the day. Let's talk about lunch.
You're-
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you
They
God.
can't guarantee
Yes,
he's
I do.
gonna like the way
Put
he
your hand
looks
down,
at
go
the
ahead
end
and
of
have
the
a
day.
seat. Make yourself comfortable. I'm gonna be there
The
for a
way he
while.
took his oath then, he was like, like something's gonna hit him.
We were talking about moving it to the hallway yesterday.
Wait, what
but
did
we
I
can
say?
do that later, but just move it out of the way for now and put it up against the wall, and
Oh,
we'll have a bailiff move it later.
what the hell is like head is?
Please state your full name for the record, if you would.
Lieutenant Lee
He
Stewart,
shops at
Where do you
Jamboree.
currently employed with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office.
And currently, what are your main duties that you do?
So currently,
Oh, we are speeding this up.
I'm one of the assistant division commanders in the Court Services Division. I'm assigned as a crime scene technician on the crime scene response unit, and I'm also in charge of our motor unit for the Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been policing?
Since
elf?
March 23rd of 1998, so roughly 26 and a half years.
Who?
Sorry, 1998?
Yes, sir.
Did you go to come out of high school, or how'd you
Oh.
involved? Where'd you go? Was it high school into law enforcement, college, or something like
No,
that?
sir. High school directly into the Marine Corps, and then I'd enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserves, and then I started law enforcement because I needed a job. So, and been here ever since.
What attracted you to be a law enforcement officer?
A family friend of ours who was the sheriff down in Washington
Awesome,
County, Florida
okay.
years ago, I really looked up to.
Hey guys, you know who's testifying right now? This guy. He was actually in an episode, one of the first episodes of Star Trek. Yeah, he played a role. Like he used his brain was so big, he had like psychic powers and like kidnapped Kirk. And it was he got his start, but then decided to go into law. It was a good Star Trek episode. I liked it.
Oh, nice. Good job.
I thought that listening to his stories, that this would be a fun job to get into.
Where'd you go to police academy at?
I went to back when I went, it was just behind Kennesaw Mountain. It was in Georgia.
Hi, goddamn
Was
it.
that where you
Okay,
drove every
Trenton.
day, or did y'all spend the night and stay over?
No, we drove. We drove every day.
Trenton
The
is
only time we
correct.
stayed anywhere was when we had to go down to the training center down in Forsyth for firearms qualifications or like EBOT for driving instructor, stuff like that. But other than that, we drove back and forth every day.
And how long was the training that you did for that?
I don't remember what it was back then. It was like 11 or 12 weeks.
And when you were, did you do any type of specialized training in the academy, or was it just the basic training?
The academy was just basic training.
Were you pepper sprayed in the academy?
We were I think we were pepper sprayed in the,
You were
at the
pepper
sheriff's office
sprayed?
before we actually went to the academy.
You been tased too?
I didn't get tased until probably
They tase each
7, 8
other.
years ago. But
Oh yeah.
Would you rather be pepper sprayed or tased?
tased.
Always
Really?
interested in that question from officers. When you're in the academy, you just get basic information. Once you get out, explain to
They
the jury,
have
if you
to
would, what FTO
graduate.
is, or how do you get on the job training.
They have to
with
get pepper
with
sprayed and
policing, how you get on the job
tased.
training
Yes.
is
Once.
at each division that you go to, you get assigned a training officer. So
So
I
you
started
know
in jail,
like-
so I was assigned to a detention training officer for
Pause.
I don't remember how many weeks that was, but it was probably 6, 8 weeks.
The theory that so you know what it's like. You see officers have said, but I've been pepper sprayed before. It's not that bad. Come on, come on. Or yeah, they have to get tased once.
Has anyone ever, like, you know how Granny got tased and
Yeah.
she died? Has anyone ever died?
I don't think they've died. I think they used to like have a group of officers hold hands, so the electricity like went around all of them at once. But I think they like dislocated some shoulders, so they stopped doing that method.
That guy on live
Oh,
PD.
Yeah, so
someone
you don't
died-
keep tasing folks for hours and hours. Yeah, because
Okay.
you know like how long it takes before you're incapacitated.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's full on. I reckon someone's definitely died from doing that.
Oh yeah, and officers also, yeah, friendly fire with pepper spray is a thing.
Also, is the risk of being hit by friendly fire with pepper spray and taser probably
Taser.
a good idea to try it before the field? Wow. This is reminding me of that guy Enrique, you know, who was killed doing like sparring with officers in Massachusetts. You know, like, oh, because you got to toughen them up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I'm sure that someone would have died for sure.
Yeah, I mean, judging
Like
the
a weakling.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not having a go. Like, there'd be
No.
weak guys who aren't ready for that, and like maybe have a heart condition or something they didn't know about.
Yeah.
Wow.
weeks. And I went to several different ones and learned the different shifts and what happened on different shifts. And then you work that position, and then there's continuing on the job training that, you know, the state requires. We get so many hours a year of training. And then when I moved from patrol or the jail to patrol, then I had to go through a 12-week, you know, FTO training process.
And
then
Enrique
there's
got a
still, you know,
beat
once you
down,
get
yeah,
done,
I
there's
know.
still, the state requires other training that you're required to take every year on top of it. And so there's an FTO process for everything that you go through on top of, like there's specialized training classes you can take and whatnot, depending on how you want to gear your career.
So you started in the jail, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And then from that, did you go to, is it uniform patrol? Is that what you
Okay.
call it?
I don't care.
Yeah, I spent roughly 23 months in the jail, and then about 20 and a half years on patrol before being assigned here.
In the jail, do you get used to talking with people, meeting with people, seeing people with different worldviews and cultures?
Yes.
Then when you get out on the road and you're on patrol, how is that assigned? Are you assigned to a certain area, or what do you do?
So back when I came to the road years ago, there was
Let's
only three
get to the
people just
testimony.
around from what it used to be.
How's the sheriff's
I think now we're a lot.
officers?
Yes.
Is it a professional organization?
And I applied for that one, just
Specialized training for what I call the CS?
20 hours, and then there's certain classes that the state requires you to take. Going to school, working on my master's degree, part of that applied towards post-up.
Oh, you
200
get a
hours of
master's
just
degree.
master's degrees in
Good
public
for you.
administration.
How that is different from someone that does
Fancy.
crime scene response or CSI, as I call it.
Okay.
Or
So,
CSI.
On smaller cases, detectives they'll do the evidence collection, the interviews and stuff like that. On larger scale cases, especially when there's a lot of evidence collection and processing that needs to be to
Lead detective
Okay.
or just a detective or investigating a case in crime scene. So you're
get
not
to
involved in
the-
crime.
on the crime scene and the evidence collection aspect of it, not, you know, interviewing suspects or talking to
Okay.
people
So
outside.
all he
as
does
the case
is
detective,
grab the
stuff like that.
stuff.
Oftentimes we talk about
He
crime
doesn't
scene,
do
and a lot of
anything
what we talk about,
else.
It's more than just one thing. It could be a place, it could be the victim, it could be the defendant, it could be a certain area that's
Correct.
out. And when you are, can anybody just today in the sheriff's office say, hey, I want to be a crime scene response or CSI investigator? Can they do that, or how does that work?
I mean, they can, obviously. I mean, as anything, you know, we need to grow accordingly with this, you know, as the county grows. But I mean, so when people are to take, so when I came onto the unit, I was a technician. Chris
who
was
cares?
showing me how the processes work, showing me how to do things, showing me how to properly collect evidence as a crime scene. We call it holding the dummy end of the tape measure. I got to hold the non-smart end of the tape measure so I could learn how things would. And I'd be scribing and taking notes and that kind of stuff. And
Holding
learning
the
process.
dummy and
basically
end
training
of
on
the
job.
tape measure?
And I think the state requires actually 40 hours of on-the-job training before you can actually get your certificate even if you've taken all your classes.
As a crime scene
Hey, Evie.
technician, what are the basic things in your toolbox that separates you from other people? When you get in this job and you're, as in this case, what are some of the things that you have in your toolbox that you use on a scene?
So certain classes, I mean, you can talk about like the required classes that
Yeah, the thing as a crime.
because we want to
I
know what,
don't
I need to know what I'm looking for
care.
myself. Sometimes with the case detectives, I take pictures and put it away at first. Whether
How many that were kind of involved in this case?
I mean, I'm seeing technical. I was called by our Chris Shaw, and he said, hey, I'm going to need you when you get done with work. So when I get done with work, I change clothes because this is not something that you want to, you know, walk around a crime scene. It's not easy to move around. Went out there and I helped. We worked most of the night collecting evidence, taking pictures, and then obviously there comes a point where you've got to take a break. So we took a break. We went home for several hours, and then the scene was held, and then we came back the following day and continued on. So we were out there a long time. I can't give you an exact number of hours. We were out there
That's fair.
quite a while.
You said this scene was contained. You talked to the jury about when law enforcement first comes to a scene. At some point, when they realize they're investigating, do they do anything to maintain the scene or secure it?
Yeah, so I mean, depends on depends on what's being
Okay,
processed.
boring.
I try to.
Let's get to it.
When you, how would you describe this farm, 2511 Purcell Lane?
Okay,
How would
cool,
you
we're talking
describe it
about farm. Good.
in your own terms? What kind of property is it?
Right.
What's it like?
I mean,
So
it was,
hang on.
it was extremely nice.
Before we move on, I have to answer something. So, you think EU is undead? Why? That's mean,
'Cause you're
David.
white?
I thought tasers are what? What are you talking
Oh,
about?
we're having a nerd conversation in chat.
Oh,
Just
okay.
Ignore
Hey,
us.
Boo Berries, how are you? Okay. Hey, Evie. And Nem, I think, came in as well. And also, John was late. You're late. Yeah. All right. Move along, priest prosecutor. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why we need to know his life story. He's not an expert or anything. Like, this is really full on. John's pregnant?
He was late.
Oh, I see. Okay. Right. The dummy end is where you don't have to read numbers. Oh, I see. Right, you just hold it. Okay. No, I've got, oh, I see. It means you weren't many people around. Okay. What's EU? Lol. Oh, that's me. Excited utterance. I'm good pretending to do important work. Okay. Because you never age. You look as stunning today as you did 2 years ago, but way to turn a compliment into something else. Thank you. However, that didn't sound like a compliment. You said undead. David. What's this? But, like, pff, please. Nice save, David. Come on. Also, are you free next Wednesday? Because I'm having a Christmas stream. Andrea said yes, but she can only stay for the first bit, so you need to be on time. If you want to hang out with Andrea, because, you know, she's a big star. It's an Aussie summer Christmas stream. You got to wear your cozies. You know what cozies are?
No.
That's like your swimwear. Or
Okay.
something summery. Like, you got to pretend it's summer because it's summer here.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be free. Cool. Yay! All right, I'll put the stream up later.
Home and, you know, small farm.
7
it was a
p.m.
nice-
Eastern.
I mean, obviously it was set up for equestrian stuff because there was a barn, there was chicken houses, and it was just a small kind of do-it-yourself type farm.
Oh, hey,
Blue
Angela's
collar
here
farm
too.
or more of a hobby farm?
I guess that
Little combination?
little combination of both, probably.
When you were at the scene and you arrived, I guess Chris Shaw, was he the lead CSI person?
I would assume. So
And,
beautiful
you had other
waterfall,
people, Melody
yay.
Thrasher, William Ballard.
yeah,
other
we
people.
were all out there.
What was, tell the jury, when you got there, was there a
That's
delegation
the
of duties
point,
or assignments
Daniel.
or tasks for your response team?
Yeah, so typically, you know, on a scene like we're talking about right now, it can be large because you don't know what you're looking for. So basically, it's a lot for one person. So it might be you go over here, you go over here, you go over here, you go over here. This is the kind of stuff I want you to do. This is the kind of stuff I want you to do. Because if not, one person can get overwhelmed. So it's easy if you break it up in individual. It's like anything, you break it up in individual duties, and it makes it everybody's more mission focused instead of all over the place. If that makes sense.
When you arrived, so I'm going to turn your attention now to July 5th, 2018, it was a Thursday. Do you remember about what time you got there?
I don't. I mean, I know it was after I got off work, so typically on a
Hey,
patrol,
hell,
our
it's in
shifts were,
court.
you know,
So in
5:30
the
to
afternoon
6, so
sometime?
sometime in the afternoon.
And when you arrived,
Where?
just about
In
how
the
many people
back.
you remember seeing?
Uh-huh.
Get off your phone, Hella.
Emergency personnel, law
God,
enforcement.
rude.
The number I was not going to give you is going to be accurate, but I would say there was at least 20, 25 people there at a minimum.
And when you came to the property, where did you go to first? What were you doing?
I don't remember exactly where I met, but I remember I went up and I met with the other crime scene personnel on scene and was directed to. I was given my initial task of what they wanted me to help with.
If I have your time down, I'll use military time, make sure that's right, 1712.
512, yeah.
Is that about an accurate time you think around that time you got there?
Probably, yes.
So when you get there, what is the first thing that you are tasked with doing?
So the first kind of thing that I was tasked with doing was processing the a Kubota tractor that was parked over next to the barn.
His glasses are
And we're
so
going to get into pictures, things
nerdy.
like that, but just to cut to the chase, did you get any samples for blood from the tractor?
I did, sir.
And this is a tractor and there's an RTV
You got
there, too,
samples
is that
of
right?
blood
there
from the
was.
So we're talking about
tractor.
the Kubota tractor.
No, yes, it's a mid-sized farm tractor, no cab, with a loader with a loader on it.
What kind of tractor do you have?
I've got
got a
two.
load
I've got
on
a
it.
New Holland 6635 and an LS.
So he also got other
2122.
samples
The
of
Kubota
it.
tractors, those, are they nice tractors?
They are.
Are they easy to drive, this type of tractor?
I mean, I think they are, but
And so what size of a tractor is it compared to a regular tractor on a farm?
I don't remember the exact size of like the horsepower and all that stuff of the tractor. I would have to look at a picture to tell you, but
We'll get those.
but it was an adequate tractor for, in my opinion, for what they were doing.
And on the tractor, so I want to make sure we get this. If you were stepping up, if you're sitting on the, if you would, if I was driving the tractor, sitting in the driver's seat.
Correct.
So this is left side, right side from where I'm sitting in the
Correct.
Driver's seat. So on the left side, there's a footstep. Did you take some swabbings from blood there?
I did, sir.
And did you follow your procedure in how you did all that swabbings?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you properly seal it, bag it, package it, send it to the sheriff's office, and then it was sent off to the GBI?
Correct.
And was that the blood that came back on the foot there, on that step?
You talking about the one that was tested that returned? Yes.
Did you check for any other type of evidence on the tractor?
Yeah, so I also took touch DNA. I did 9 touch DNA swabs in various locations around the controls of the tractor. So the steering wheel, the examples, the steering wheel, the shifter, the lever that controls the loader on the tractor, stuff like that. I took where people would commonly touch. I took touch DNA swabs.
Blood on the step of the tractor.
Yes, sir.
And then I think, did you help, you were working at times, helping, assisting, watching, being present when other crime scene technicians did things?
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Ballard, who was that?
So Lieutenant Ballard, he is actually the lieutenant over the crime scene unit. So he's assigned to CID as a department head. So under CID, there's several department heads. So prime example, and I may get the names wrong, but we have white collar, we have, general crimes, we have major crimes, that stuff. So what they do is they have them broken down into sections, and there's a lieutenant over each section. So he's a lieutenant over, I'm not sure what he does. He's over the crime scene unit and another section. So we're also a duty he has.
Very good guy, very smart guy. You like
Yes,
working with him?
I do.
He may not testify because
you,
y'all
Harris.
got other people with him at the time, but
Correct.
Is he over the crime scene?
He is, sir.
Yeah, very, very good guy. Like working with him. Now, when he was spraying the Kubota, the RTV, he was using something called Blue Star. What is Blue Star?
So Blue Star is a chemical that's designed to enhance specimens of blood or where we think blood may be. And when you spray it on, like you would any kind of household chemical or cleaner or whatever, it's out of a spray bottle. You spray it on, and when you spray it on, it fluoresces.
So it's a technique you use, a chemical you use to see if there's blood present.
Yes.
Now, when Blue Star, can it interact or react to other things besides blood?
Yeah. So Blue Star is designed to react to blood of a mammal, humans, other mammals.
Blood of a mammal.
And also, it's designed. It will react to. Because what it's reacting to is the iron in the blood,
But not lawyers' blood,
and it will
since
also
they're
react
not,
to iron as well.
And not
But if
lawyers'
it's just
blood.
straight iron and not blood, it will show differently, basically.
So mammalian
jockeys.
blood.
Yes.
Mammalian
So,
blood.
so if it's just a sample of iron, it'll flash real quick and go away. Typically, if it's a sample of blood, it'll flash and stay for a period of time, and slowly, I guess the elimination will slowly go away.
So let me go back to that. So if you spray it and it's not blood, it pops?
It'll pop real quick and go away.
Okay, but if it is blood, mammalian blood, mammal blood.
Correct. It'll stay, and it won't stay forever. It's
Apparently,
you
the
gotta,
defense
you basically
attorney
set up
beat
ready to
him
photo
up
it
and
when you
broke
do it,
his
but you got
glasses.
30, 45.
So go back a few seconds, like 5
Yeah.
seconds.
Hang on. Yeah.
Okay, so I think what happened is the defense attorney beat him up over lunch, and he broke his glasses. So he went home, and his mom gave him his backup pair that aren't very good looking, to be frank.
They're hers, actually.
They're hers. Yes, yes. Okay.
Yes.
There, she had a frame. She got, and then she took his lenses and just popped them in there. So she had a backup frame for him ready to go.
They're
Hopefully-
ladies' glasses for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't get beat up again, but
Oh, look, we can't guarantee that.
she's got an appointment soon at least to get him
Yeah.
replaced.
Oh dear.
Away typically. If it's a blood sample of blood, it'll flash and stay for a period of time and slowly.
Okay, so this
I guess the
blood's
elimination
on
will slowly
the.
So let me go back to that. So if you spray it and it's not blood, it pops?
It'll pop real quick and go away.
Okay, but if it is blood, mammalian blood, mammal blood.
Where
Correct.
you
It'll-
where you
it'll
step
stay,
up
and it'll-
onto
It
it,
won't stay forever. It's
or on the.
you gotta you basically have to be set up ready to
The
photo it when
Scoopy
you do it,
bit.
but you got 30, 45 seconds for it to kind of stay up and it kind of just slowly dissipate. The light, the fluorescence will slowly dissipate.
And when you were with Lieutenant Ballard and y'all were processing the RTV, it too is a Kubota RTV?
Yes, it's a Kubota RTV, which is it's a side by side.
Nice choice. Kubota's a good brand.
Kawasaki Mule or whatever. It's a side by side used by construction workers, people working on farms. Stuff like that.
The lever for the hydraulic dump bed in the dash area, when it was Blue Star, did it fluoresce?
It did.
When you went over the tractor, the dash area, did it also fluoresce?
Give me just a second. Let me look back at my report for a minute. I don't remember. I have it. In my report it says that the step did, but I don't remember the dash. I'd have to look at photos.
Sorry. So the lever for the hydraulic dump, the bed, and the step did indicate presence of burn.
Correct.
Now, at some point, you're processing the house. Did you go into the actual inside the house at all and help out?
Yes.
And I think there were some things you were looking. What things there did you notice?
At what point?
Well, let me go back to the. So I think you were there on the 5th, and y'all was when you processed the tractor and the RTV. Is that right?
The tractor and the RTV and I took photographs of the barn and whatnot.
Right. Lots of photographs. We want to see those.
Okay.
And then, did you come back on July 6th, which is Friday, the next day?
Yes, sir, I did.
And I think you probably went to the house in the basement at some point.
I did.
What did you notice down there?
So I went in there and assisted Sergeant Carter while we collected, helped him collect some evidence. We collected samples of hair that was on a wall. We collected various other things, and then I was tasked to process several garbage cans that were in the downstairs office in the house.
When you processed the garbage can, I believe it's the trash can out of Gary's office in the basement. Do you remember what was anything in particular that was in there broken?
Yeah. So you want me to tell you everything that was in the can, or just the broken items that were in there?
Go ahead.
So in the can there was cigarette packs, food, leftover food, papers. There was also a broken plate that was in there. It was all taken. And when we process stuff like that, we take it, I had to take it out and lay it out because I have to photograph it all. So I took it out, placed out a tarp to keep it to where I could lay it all out, take a picture, and photograph the whole thing.
Sometimes when I go to a crime scene, I stick my hands in my pocket and just kind of let the scene talk to me. You know, what's there, what does that mean?
you let the scene talk
Do you look
to
at
you?
evidence to see where you can take an inference and say, okay, I see this evidence. This probably means this. You ever do that?
I mean, sometimes, but what we typically do is we give the information we find to the detectives because they're the ones that have been talking to people. You know, so we say this is possible, this may not be possible, this is the evidence we found. You know, and then they basically put it together with their statements and people that they've interviewed.
You're
and
not
like
down
that.
the pub
Jerry
having a
Harris was dead
beer,
when the detectives
man.
went out there and processed that. But in his trash can,
The scene
was there any indication
whisperer.
whether or not he liked Mountain Dew?
Yes, there was a plethora of Mountain Dew cans.
Lots of.
Yes.
Was
Plethora
there,
of
did you
Mountain
also
Dew cans.
help process some, I guess, C or some shoes and a shirt.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that.
At one point, we were kind of
Plethora.
coming through the master bed. I would assume the master bedroom in the house, or in a study. And in the closet in that bedroom, there was a red color shirt that had several stains on it, which was photographed. And then there was also several pairs of shoes that had. There was I think one was a teal colored pair of shoes, and the other one was multicolored pair of shoes. They were in the same closet, and one of them, both of them had stains on them, which were tested, and obviously I photographed the shoes.
Did you find anything that's consistent with soot or ash or anything like that?
So on the red shirt that I photographed, I noticed a black stain. I believe it was on the back.
Evie is awesome.
Down around the bottom.
5 yesterday, 5
had the
today. You're
appearance of
amazing.
ash or soot.
And then someone else was processed that.
I would assuming yes.
And the garbage can, did you
Just for that,
think there was
Evie,
possible blood on that?
you
or
get
did
to
you-
I did.
choose the emoji.
So that on one of the garbage cans downstairs, I noticed two reddish brown stains, and at the time, based on the scene, I assumed that they may be blood based off the color. So I did collect them so that they could be tested to see if they were in fact blood.
The parts that stipulated the GBI reports, those are come in, but do you even know what the results are on some of those?
Not on all of them, no.
And it is what it is, and we'll bring those in. We stipulated those, but you, everything that you process, the tractor, the RTV, helping with that.
The
cans,
DNA results are
garbage cans,
stipulated.
The swabbing
Alright.
from those and everything else, did you properly follow your procedures to bag those, maintain those, and make sure that they got to the GBI properly for testing?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you ever go to
Thank
the
you
barn
so
and
much
check
for
out the barn,
those
see if you found any
memberships
evidence
and welcome
So
new
I believe it
members.
was the second day. Let me just verify.
I know you say the 6th, if that's right.
The 6th, yeah. When I went back out there, I was asked to do a walkthrough of the barn with the detective. So basically, I walked through with one of the detectives, and I had my camera on my neck, and basically we were checking each other. So we walked through. Does he see something else? Oh, based off of how the investigation is moving. Okay, now I need this as evidence. Now I need this as evidence. Now I need this as evidence. So then we start taking more photographs and start documenting more things. And if we need to collect something else, we collect it.
At that point, what did you know about a gun being involved, or what was your mindset, your present sense of presence at that time? What was going on involving the gun?
I mean, I knew we were potentially looking for a smaller caliber handgun of some kind.
When did you know about the bullet in the rib?
When?
Do you remember?
I want to say it was I can't remember. I mean, I know it was either late the first night or early the next morning, but I think it was the first night.
When you arrived, was the bullet found in the ribs, or was that after?
I can't recall an exact timeline.
But is it fair to say most of your investigation while you're processing the scene, you were investigating a murder?
Yes.
Or investigating a crime, I guess I should say.
Yes.
I didn't know if when you first arrived, if you thought it was an accident, someone had a heart attack, or were you actually, it was an investigation?
I mean, in a situation like this, obviously you assume the worst, hope for the best.
Sure. And you've worked with law enforcement officers a long time.
Yes.
Gallows humor sometimes, they can work things off, or they're cynical at times.
Correct.
Do y'all begin with, oftentimes there's a theory, or maybe there's a crime and you work it until it stops? In other words, there's no more evidence.
I mean, I would say that's fair and accurate.
And in this case, when you were doing your task in that, were you just focused on what you were assigned to do, try to find any type of evidence?
So I hope this answers your question. So, like prime example, when I was tasked to do the tractor, I was looking for any evidence I could find on the tractor, whether it be blood or any other substance that would indicate any sort of criminal offense or other explanation. So does that help? So
Sure.
I mean, so basically, so when we get there, we're kind of geared. We talk to the detective. Hey, what are you looking for? What do you need? And then that kind of gears us in the direction of what we're looking.
And then you independently at times can just follow the scene where it goes.
Correct.
Now, when you went into the barn, did you find a gun?
Yes, we found a 32 caliber. I think it was a 32 caliber firearm, revolver.
Now, does Cherokee County have many murders per year?
Any murder what?
Do y'all respond to law mergers? Not really.
Not really. I mean,
So,
compared to the other surrounding, more metro jurisdictions, no.
So not a lot of major violent
No.
crimes. Had you worked a case like this and then burning or something? Or was this the first time?
This was the first time.
You know, we have
For most of those
murders.
officers,
We
same
have
thing was true too.
we have
I would
dudes
assume,
on
I
burn
don't know,
piles
the
every
other
other
crime scene
week.
technicians training and experience, but I would assume it was,
So when you're working a case and there's a bullet in someone's ribs that's been burned, why are you interested in finding a gun?
because at that point, I believe a reasonable and prudent person would believe that there was some kind of foul play.
And when you found this gun, what did you notice about the gun? First of all, where was it at? What type of gun was it, and what did you notice about it?
It was a 32 caliber revolver. It appeared to be old. I believe it was in a cabinet in the barn, kind of off the tack, I guess tack room, I believe. And obviously, the first thing, one of the first things we do is we photograph it, and then obviously we inspect it to see if there's any rounds that have been fired or anything in it. And that's easy with a revolver recently because you can open the cylinder and look.
Okay,
And
I
you can
find
look
this
at
a
the
bit
primers and
strange.
all.
It's a farm, right? Wouldn't there be tons of firearms on this farm? Like, you're looking. Okay, so he's saying that he's expecting there to be evidence of foul play, so he's looking for a firearm. He finds a revolver, right? And then he goes and photographs it, thinking like it could be evidence of a murder, right? But it's a farm. Surely there'd be lots of guns.
Possibly.
Well, let's
They would
wait and
probably
have a
collect
look.
all the firearms.
Yes, but I mean, who's he to say that because he found that firearm that's got anything to do with Big Daddy being on the burn pile? Right? Like, I just find it really strange that on a farm, he's deciding that that firearm's got to have something to do with that. Like, what I'm learning about Americans, and especially American farms, is that they seem to have tons of firearms. Yeah?
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
we'll see though. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's
Yeah.
the only firearm. But I really, really, really doubt it. And unbronzed. Oh my goodness. The year of living sticky. Remember, for 11 months, you have been here the entire time, my friend
Wow.
Laura. You are amazing. You're amazing. And you know what? You were here even before that. You
Sure.
have been here all along. Way before I was monetized. Long before I was monetized. Thank you so much. And I love you. Even before you moved to Tasmania, you were a sun-kissed, not sun-kissed, never went out in the sun, Queenslander. Love you so much. Thank you for all of your support. Old McDonald had a Glock. Tasmanian Aussie has been here since the beginning. Yes, she has. You're starting to know everybody, aren't you, Evie? Now, Evie gets to choose because she gave gifted memberships yesterday and today, which I think is a big thing. Good for you. So, Evie, whenever you want, no hurry, but you decide what you would like the emoji to be. Okay, so you might want to have a look at some of the pictures first because the pictures are coming through in a minute. All right, let's go.
All of them, and none of the primers in that weapon had been, that were loaded in the weapon had been fired. So it was photographed and left in place.
So it did not appear to be recently fired.
No.
How about the ammunition? Was the ammunition accounted for?
I remember taking pictures of lots of different ammunition for different caliber firearms.
But didn't see anything out
see?
there?
No,
No blood, no dirty, no moved, or anything that looks like it was recently used in any way.
didn't appear to be me, no.
All right, tell the jury if you would. Are you a gun guy?
I am.
Like guns?
I'm not an
Oh,
expert.
I'm a gun
but, I
guy.
like guns, I like to shoot,
You have more common knowledge. You think somebody doesn't use guns?
probably.
I'm not going to ask you how many guns you own because I wouldn't want you to ask me how many I own. But what is the difference between, say, a 32 and a 38 and 357?
Size,
And what do you mean by
size,
that?
speed, weight of the cartridge.
All right, for people that don't know, I'm just starting this side, going from small to large. 22, then you step over a 32,
Yep.
bullet, then a 38,
Yep.
357?
Correct.
All right. Can those be shot in a revolver?
Yes.
And they're usually in revolvers?
Yes.
What's a 380 and a 9 though?
Typically, 380s and 9mm are
Short nines.
they're semi-automatic. They're not revolvers. They hold magazines with 7, 8, 7, 10, 15 rounds typically.
And cowboy gun is kind of what the revolver is, has that cylinder.
Correct.
And don't get upset when I say this, but oftentimes people say with a semi-automatic it has a clip in it. I know it's a magazine, not supposed to have a clip, but that's where you put the magazine and
Correct.
charge it racket.
Correct.
And a 32 is the most commonly used in a revolver.
I mean, as far as I know, but I mean, there could be something else out there, but as far as I know, it's typically a revolver.
How about a 38 special? Can it be shot out of like a 357 or a 44 or something like that?
Yes.
So it's small enough to go through the bigger barrel.
So I have a
Geez, hey.
357.
What do you got?
Little man's
Wood
getting
Rescue
happy
101.
talking guns.
So a lot of times if I'm just targeting,
You just
practicing,
know he's
I'll shoot 38 ball ammo out of
overcompensating.
it because you can't go the other way, but because it's cheaper and it has less recoil, and
You just know he has a gigantic truck. He
You
lifted
can't put a
everything
357
he
in a
drives
38
out of the
will work,
courthouse
but you
with.
can go backwards.
Okay, so you can go up, you just can't go down.
Right.
You know how many pictures you took?
I have no idea.
Have you had an opportunity to meet with me probably too many times and look at your photographs?
Yeah, we looked at quite a few photographs.
All right, I'm going to State's Exhibit Stewart.
Not of
1
the crime
131.
scene, just
I'm going to enter those,
photos.
into
Yeah, it was
those.
kind of weird. You were naked in a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that was about, but yeah, I saw a lot of photographs.
They're on your hard drive.
Yeah,
Yeah. We sent them around the office.
yeah. Well, it was some naked pictures of you, sir. We thought it was of a child, but no, it turned out to be you.
We'll do it a couple ways, but these are so they can go out and jury. This is State's Stewart 1, 131. I'll bring them up on the computer too.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Thanks, Shane.
He's
They
definitely
were all in a D
small.
small folder.
Screen looked like I had it on, 'cause I can see it.
Sean,
Yeah,
thank
sorry.
you for the $7.99 super
Aw,
sticker.
thank
Sean the sheep
While this is loading up, Lieutenant.
down in
what about-
Sydney.
sir.
what
Much
it is, put that on the pieces
appreciated.
here.
Cherokee County, sir.
And just a nice area of the county.
It is.
Is it
Merry
beautiful?
Christmas, mate.
All right, this is Stewart 1. We're going to walk through. What I want to do is, obviously, the jury's not there at the time that the processing is taking place. I'm going to ask a question, but I really want you to kind of think through the eyes of a juror. And you've seen it, you know it, but some things may not be in their mind as it is in yours. As we come into this, and we know that you come up the driveway and you turn right to go to the barn. Is that right?
Correct.
And tell us what we're seeing here in Stewart 1. I probably would just refer to it as 1 or 2 or 3, but we're talking about the Stewart exhibit.
Okay.
So in States 1 here, what do we see?
So what you see off to the left is the barn. Well, it's got two sliding barn doors on the front, and then just off to the right of that, you see basically two sheds where obviously various equipment. I mean, you can keep various equipment, and then
When you're looking at this, that barn on the left, and where was Scott's apartment be, the son's apartment?
above the barn, so the second story, second floor.
Kind of describe the apartment, the loft over the barn. What would it be like?
And it's just I guess a standard apartment, bedroom, bathroom, living room area, kitchen.
Kind of more equivalent to a hunting cabin, or more equivalent to like a fancy apartment down in Atlanta,
I would say more equivalent to maybe a man room, hunting cabin, something like that.
like a bachelor was living there,
Basically, yeah.
who's a hunter or something like that.
Correct.
What do we see in one of your straight ahead? What are those things?
You talking about what the trailer's parked in front of?
This is now 2. What do we have here?
Those are basically, I mean, I consider them storage sheds. So like you can back trailers under them, you can park equipment under them, trucks under them, whatever. They've got various tools in them, basically used for storage.
I'm never good at this. My wife has to correct me all the time.
Your
Is that
wife?
lean-to, or is it pole barn, or what would you call
I
that?
mean, I call it a pole barn, but
Did you meet her filming The
And
Wizard of Oz?
States 3. What do we have here?
so it's the one on the left, I believe. It's basically various tools in there, lawnmowers, shovels, tillers, various household, outside working tools.
4. Moving to the left of that view, that same shed.
Okay.
What do we have here?
Just the other side, you have a tiller, a trailer, gas cans, a small pull behind looks like fertilizer spreader, a push mower, sprinklers, just various lawn equipment.
All right, Stage 5. What do we see on this wall?
On the wall, you have basically what you call I would call it a sickle on the end. You've got a shelf, you got rakes, shovels, chain.
Could
Tools.
have raked him into the
Stage 6. Looking
burn
at the
pile.
front of this, just other things in that shed. Is that right?
Chased him with
Yeah,
a
so
rake.
You got a shelf full of buckets and gas cans, and then to the left of that looks like you got a climbing ladder stand for like a hunter.
Just going around. Do you just try to just capture the scene as it is, not knowing whether or not it's relevant at the time?
Correct. So when you take photographs, the first thing you do is you take overall photographs. So basically, if you had to go back and overlay something on top of it, you can completely recreate the scene. And then once you find out what your evidence is, you go back and you take the other photographs, mid-range close-ups, stuff like that.
Stewart 8 here. The right side
It is
the
organised,
right
isn't
shed
it,
here.
Johnny?
Yes.
Is there anything in those, or are they
I thought so
I guess the right
too.
one's empty, is that right?
I believe
It-
the right one's empty, yeah.
It's
Well, except
really
for,
clean.
looks like a planter.
Number 9, and when you look at this, it looks like a planter and some things have been strapped to the top.
Yeah, it's
That's the
it's
motor
probably where, my guess is
vehicle.
where they put the seed, hold the seed. It looks like a planter.
Actually, no,
I
that's
don't know
not the
if you call those toe
motor
straps.
vehicle.
What do you call those straps?
I mean,
Those come along straps? Is that?
Ratchet straps, is what I call it. But
You use those at your farm?
Oh,
I don't know if that's
oh,
a technical term, but that's what I call
straps.
it.
Stewart 10, just empty.
Remember
right side
how-
of the shed here, is that right?
Yes.
Remember how they were talking
Sure,
about like straps and pulleys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? That's the motor vehicle. Evie? See? That's
Okay.
the Kubota.
Tell the jury what we see in this photograph and kind of where it's at in relation to everything else on the property.
So this is behind, so what I see here is like, obviously you're looking kind of at the side of the right shed. Looking down, there's obviously another lean-to or pole barn or whatever you want to call it off to the back, but there's various other equipment. And then wheelbarrows, storage ladders, and then down behind that, parked next to a mulch pile is the Kubota tractor that I mentioned processing earlier.
Kubota.
And this Kubota, what does it have on the front and what does it have on the back?
So on the front,
Small
it's got a
enough for the
loader,
prosecutor.
which is commonly used in farm stuff. And then on the back, we'll have to get closer, but there's a farm, there's an implement on the back, like a
Kubota's
small set
too
of
big
harrows
for
or
him to
something,
climb up
drag
onto.
plow or something like that. But
Stewart 12 just showing a view looking at, I guess, the front of the tractor, is that right?
correct.
Now describe for the jury what is to the left of the tractor and is there anything in it or is it empty?
The left.
You know, this is the whole lean-to issue with me. You see that,
Oh,
that
okay.
roof that comes over?
I'm looking at it from being on the tractor. So
Okay, all right, so as you're looking at this photograph, tractor's to your right?
Correct.
To the left, that little shed area, is there, what's in there?
What's that?
Looks like a on the left. It kind of looks like a wood chipper. Got some various piping hanging on the wall, a wheelbarrow, and then looks like a plastic storage, like a storage container to store liquid. Or
Did you learn where the tractor was normally parked, whether it's normally parked under there or out like this?
I don't recall where it was normally parked. I mean, I know me personally, I keep my stuff under the barn because I want to take care of it. But I mean, I don't know. Some people keep stuff outside.
Stewart 13, we're looking at the right side of the tractor.
Oh,
Correct.
Want to kind of focus in on those tires. Did you
Oh,
know
here we
anything
go.
about the tractor, its condition?
there's
whether
bits of Big Daddy
clean,
on
not
there.
clean, or otherwise?
I mean, it looks relatively well taken care of. I mean, cleanish. It's got some dirt on it. I've got some dirt on the tires.
It's got some bone on it.
Stewart
Got a
14,
lamb chop
I'm back
over
looking
there,
at that,
or dad
what I call a
chop.
rake, or what would you call it, the implement on the back of the
Dad.
tractor?
A rake of some sort. I don't know what the technical term is. Some sort of harrow rake, something like that.
And what is that usually used for?
That in particular, I'm not really sure. I would be assuming it's for moving ground.
All right, Stewart's 15 on the back side. Who's that gentleman standing there to the right, you know?
That looks like Detective Kuykendall.
And he's
Whoa,
not
oh,
crime scene, he's just,
don't-
He's just a detective. He's a sergeant.
Don't
in
call him
Criminal
that.
Investigation
this is the back view of the tractor, has that, what I call a rake on the back. Left side, just seeing the tractor's position on Stewart 16.
Yes.
Stewart 17, kind of another going around it. You just try to walk around, is that what you're doing?
Correct. So I'm doing overall. So I'm
It's
taking
definitely
pictures
a
of the
manlet
overall
tractor.
piece of equipment going around
And Stewart 18 is coming to the
Now the other
scoop or
one was
bucket
the
or
green
whatever you
one.
the bucket.
19, a little close on the back. All right, 20, I want to go around to, I think we got pictures of the tires beginning on the right side. The right back, what do you know about this tire?
It's clean.
As far as, I mean, there's dirt on the outside of the tire. It's
Stewart 21, as we go into the front. Stewart 22, what do you know about the front right tire?
there's dirt caked in the tread of the tire on the front where it's stopped.
Stewart 23, front bucket.
What's in the bucket?
If I said that bucket's about 5 feet in length, would you disagree with that?
I mean, I'd probably say
How did
close. I mean, I don't know the exact dimensions
it's
of the
5
bucket,
feet in
but,
length.
I mean, I'd probably
Let's
say
see.
Close.
You lie in
26.
it, prosecutor.
And that's the front right.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm going to back up just a little bit. You see on Stewart 22, you see that white round part on the tractor?
You talking about the oil filter?
Yeah, filter. So Stewart 26, you're talking about the front right.
Yes.
Stewart 27, what is this picture of?
It's the front right tire.
The mud on the tire.
Yes.
Stewart 28, back picture of the right front tire. Is that right?
I think so. I can't really tell.
And then Stewart 29, back right.
Yes.
Stewart 29, the back right.
Was that cocaine?
And Stewart 30, excuse me. All right, now, on the left side, the writing's on the other side. Let me go back so you know this. So you see the Stewart 20, you see the HST is on the right there. Now we're on the left side. So left back tire, describe that for us.
It's got some looks like earth debris on the, or dirt, leaves, whatever on the top.
32, just another picture of it.
Close-up picture.
Always cocaine.
33, this is the left step.
Correct.
Now,
There was white powder on there earlier.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Do we know where Rekida's
what are we
9-year-old
focusing on
was?
Here, towards the top of the step.
So about, I don't know, 2/3 of the way across.
I think Big Daddy's too large for the
very
bucket.
top of the step, there's several
Damn
red,
straight.
Hey,
small reddish
Dolly,
brown stains.
the-
That's a close-up photo of it.
Is that senior?
the bucket's 5 foot
Yes.
long.
Do you have training in detecting blood or seeing blood?
Yes.
What kind of training do you
That
have?
was
in that?
twice as tall as the
So,
prosecutor.
in my
Okay,
career, I've
actually,
seen lots
there-
of
wait.
human blood over the course of 26 years of working
There
with
is
being
blood
wrecks,
there.
answering calls. But we also, as a crime scene technician, there's a 40-hour class you have to take. It's called blood stain pattern analysis. So it helps you learn how to identify different stains, stuff like that.
My
Where do you learn
favorite
this
part
process?
was semen.
That's just basically what, when it came to blood splatter or blood patterns or things like that.
So you learn how to determine, like in certain things, like certain instance, area of impact, area of origin. So like it doesn't really apply in this case, but
I do
because
a
obviously
taste
we don't have anything
test.
else than just one piece of evidence. But, so if you have a blood spatter on the wall, it's here, and somebody says I was standing up and I was hitting the head with something, you basically can say, well, I don't think that's the case because the area of origin would be down here. So you learn how to pull measurements and strings. And
I
whatnot
love
to
my
kind of determine.
job.
You learn directionality of blood drops. So you learn,
Directionality
basically
of,
the 90-degree droplets around.
I
You
like
learn
to
various
say I've
patterns of
never-
blood. There's
I've
all
never
kind of
worked a
patterns of
day in
blood.
my
White
life.
patterns, saturation patterns. Basically, it's just I guess the scientific way to describe what kind of pattern it is. So, for example, if it's a white pattern, I'm sure everybody's seen where somebody's tried to clean something up and they wipe it in a certain
White
sequence. You can tell
pattern.
obviously that that's what they call a white pattern. It means it looks like it's been tried to be wiped up. Or you have a swipe pattern, which means like if I'm bleeding from
I
the
didn't
hand and I
even
walk
set
by
this up.
this wall and I brush it, obviously that's two different looks. That's what they would call a swipe pattern. Basically, I swipe something across it. I swipe the object across it.
If I
That
lick
makes
it,
sense.
you know.
So if I was shot in the arm and held my arm out and blood would drop 90 degrees down vertical, what would it look
It
like?
would be completely round.
And can blood be transferred from one place to another?
Yes,
From one substance or thing to another?
correct.
When you look at this, can you tell if this has any indication of any of those things you talk about?
I mean, it could be any number of things. It could be a transfer stain. It could be
It could be a drop.
because you have one looks like 90 degrees
That-
on the right. But, I mean,
That photo
that
is a
could come off
picture of the
something as well.
prosecutor's
But could it be
wife.
transferred
It's been
to?
transfer. I mean, there's no way I can definitively give you the answer.
She's
Stuart
a
36.
three-hole wonder.
Yes.
Just a closer of that?
It's another close-up. It's done with a ABFO scale. Do we use those to in
Did you
close-up
test
photographs
it? Like,
so that
did it
people can
get
a size
tested, or
reference
we
on how
just-
the size of something? So if we have to, go back and recreate
just
something
guessing.
later. If something has to be recreated later, you can get approximate size.
And technically, I think this was going to be GBI out of 1919B, and it's the swab 2 sample that you took. So this is the sample of the blood from the tractor that you took and was turned into the GBI.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
And how
it
many-
was.
When you take swabs, we're stipulating this, it doesn't really matter, but when you take a swab, how many swabs are you doing?
So it depends. So on something like this, I took, because I have one sample, I do two. So when you collect this sample, it was dry. So if it's wet, you don't have to do anything. You can just swab it up. If it's dry, you have to use some sort of substance to be able to lift it. So we use sterile water, denatured water, whatever you want to call it. So the first thing that we do is we're going to use two swabs. The first one, we put the water comes in little vials. If that helps you guys out to kind of picture it. So you drop the
He
drop the
just
water on
said
top
how
of
big the prosecutor was.
the first swab. It looks like a big
Say
Q-tip
this big.
basically, and you put that in. You package that, so that way they can go back and you can go back and show later that the water was not contaminated. The water wasn't. There was nothing wrong with it. It was sterile. It came from a sterile environment. And then you go back and you wet the second Q-tip because the moisture is in the water is just what's going to basically reconstitute enough of
Moist.
it to where it's not going to turn into a liquid again, but it'll reconstitute it enough to get it to lift. With that, and then that got packaged as well.
And as you did in this case, when you package something, just describe the packaging that's put in there so it's
So
secure.
any type of biological evidence, such as blood, gets packaged in paper or cardboard. And the reason that it does is because
We don't know if it's blood
obviously,
yet.
everybody's put stuff in a plastic bag and seen it turn to mold or seen it grow things inside. Well, because this is biological evidence, it goes inside typically we use swab boxes, so they come flat like this, and you have to fold them up and make a box out of them, and they have a
Oh, for God's sake.
little tab.
God,
perforated
imagine
tab
this
that
guy on
pop
a
up
first
that
date.
The
Yeah.
long swabs, like a dental
So what do you
long
do
dental
for a
swab
living?
slides in there.
Oh,
So
let me
that's
tell
the
you about my
packaging, so that way
swabs.
they can, because cardboard's porous, so that way it can dry, and it doesn't allow.
Well, you know
moisture to
about
stay in
mold
there
and plastic
turn things
bags,
moldy or
right,
grow
babe?
things or whatever.
All right, going from there, Stuart 37, just in front left tire.
Okay,
Stuart
so
38, same thing.
like quite seriously though, he shouldn't be referring to it as blood yet, right? like at this point, it hasn't been ascertained that it's blood. To put it in evidence right now, or have it on the record right now as being blood, no
Yeah.
one has, no, it hasn't been defined as blood yet. At the moment, it's a reddish brown stain, right? So until someone has testified, or an expert has testified that it has been determined to be blood, at the moment, it's a reddish brown stain.
Yeah.
Yeah? Unless there's some stipulation that it's blood. In which case, that should have already been read into the record. Correct?
Unless it was stipulated to, but I don't know if it was.
Well, but that should have been read into the record.
Yeah.
And what, so, like, really, her lawyer should be objecting to him saying blood, 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 blood. It's a reddish brown stain.
And then 39, do you just start walking around the backside of the barn?
Yes.
They
Stewart
stipulated
40.
to DNA. They said
Stewart 41.
that the DNA would be stipulated to.
Stewart 42, Stewart 43. Is there an area at Stewart 43, an opening where you could drive a tractor into that overhang?
Yeah, I hear no
Yeah,
objections.
I'd have to make sure
yeah,
it's tall enough, but I mean, I would assume.
I mean,
that's
I'm
what-
objectionable.
Just use the park
but
equipment.
That's it.
you are.
And the rest of the pictures up to Stewart 46, kind of just showing pictures of the backside of the, I guess, the barn.
Yes, sir.
Stewart 47, were there animals
It's
on the
not
property?
like we're in
Right
court in a
there?
murder
I
trial,
want
no.
to say there was horses and chickens.
All right, so we're going to start going into the barn. You took photographs of the barn?
Correct.
Stewart 48. I'm just going to kind of walk through them if that's okay. Stewart 49. Stewart
Hey, JC
50.
Music Man.
Stewart 51. Had a little visitor there.
Good
You see him?
question.
Yeah, well, lab.
Stewart 52.
I'm not sure if they
53.
even knew exactly how long he'd
Stewart
been
54. Did you see the horses
gone. I
on
think
the property?
like a few
I
days.
mean, I don't
I
recall,
think
but I
so.
would assume I
Missing
did.
4 days,
Stewart
maybe?
55.
4 or 5 days, yeah.
Stewart 56.
It wasn't like weeks.
57.
No.
58. 59.
It's so tidy.
60. 61. 62. 63. 64.
Look at it. It's perfect.
Oh, what a cute man.
66. 67 now, kind of the tool room.
Yes.
68.
That is
69.
tidy.
70. And did you notice that there were ropes and
Kind of
other
jealous.
things around the property?
I mean, yeah, there was various, I mean, you see a rope hanging off the extension cords, there's ropes hanging on the wall, there was chains in one of the shed earlier, so yeah, there's ropes and chains all over the place.
72. Now to 73. 74. 75. 6. 77. 78. We see some of these rifle shotguns. Where are these?
See? Guns.
You can, it looks like the bottom two are rifles, and I can't tell if the top one's a shotgun or a rifle.
Just going through the rest of these. Now, 83 is the tack room for the horses. And the saddle.
That's one of them, I mean, yeah, there's saddles in there, there's fishing rods, various things.
Prosecutor knows about saddles. I told you guys.
Stewart 94. What do you have a picture here?
Stop.
Can you see it?
I believe that's the 32 revolver we discussed earlier.
For the record, what were we looking at here? Stewart 94. Describe it in words. if you could.
It was a, talking about so we're in the tack room, there's a cabinet, or in one of the storage rooms, there's a cabinet. It's open, it's got various items in it, and then there's a 32 revolver, or there's a revolver laying underneath it with ammunition, boxes of ammunition beside it.
So Stewart 95 shows the gun as you found it.
Yes.
Stewart 96. What do we have here?
So that's the inside, like I previously mentioned, that's the, we obviously inspect the weapons when we pick them up. So we open the cylinder and look, and you can note that that's a 6-shot revolver, and there's the little round circles in the middle of the cartridges or the primers. And if those would have been fired, there would have been well, imagine like taking a nail, like taking a nail and hitting it on a piece of wood and then pulling it out. You have like a little indention in the primer, showing that it had been fired. Then obviously we would collect the shell casing.
I don't
97, just showing,
understand why
I guess,
he
the name
thinks
of the
that
gun.
gun's
Yes,
more
it's
important
Winchester.
than the other
And
guns.
then 98, some just pictures of the chicken coop, I guess.
Correct.
Chickens.
Those.
It's a chicken.
It's a
It's a
chicken.
kitty. It's a
Got a
chicken.
chicken. Uh-oh. Was she down by the kennels?
Now, 115. On now transition. I guess this will be on July 6th.
It
Processing the-
looks like the garbage can is downstairs. You can see the blue tarp that it's sitting on.
So Stewart 115 is the garbage can. Is that the picture, just a picture of the outside?
Correct.
I guess what's that blue tarp under it?
Yes.
Why do you do that?
Well, because I mean, I'm fixing to lay stuff out on it so that I can photograph it and take pictures, and I want to try to keep it as obviously I'm outside, so I want to try to keep it as sterile as possible.
116. Now,
Sterile.
you were involved in interviewing people to know anything about dish or why the dish is there?
No, I mean, I'm assuming it's in the garbage can 'cause it's broken. But sometimes the smallest things.
Oh,
yeah,
good. Go ahead and
I'm not
assume.
disputing that, but the point is,
It's only
you
a
didn't talk
murder
to witnesses to know
investigation.
anything
No,
about it.
they're not.
You just found it. So Stuart, 116, what do we see here?
So like I mentioned earlier, there was food in the garbage can, packs of cigarettes, and then obviously a broken plate.
117, I guess what you do is you peel the onion, you take some off, take another layer off.
Correct. So first, like if I was doing this, I would take an overall picture of the top of the garbage can, then I would take a few things out, take pictures again, so that way everything can be photographed. And you systematically lay it out across the tarp, which I'm sure you'll see that in a minute, and then you take an overall photograph from the top, so you can see everything at one time that was found in there.
Y'all don't just willy-nilly get some evidence and throw it there in the back of the truck. Are y'all
No.
very careful and punctilious in how you actually go through all the evidence, step by step, piece by piece, make sure you're processing it?
Yes.
Packaging it right?
Yes.
All right, 118. What is this?
That's a picture of that's a close-up picture of the broken plate laying on the tarp.
119, still going through the
We're back in the garbage can again.
120, what do we have here?
Photographs of the papers,
121,
plant leaves, there's food.
122 showing some documents and food.
Yes,
123, you're laying it out, is that right?
correct.
124,
Ooh,
what
what's
is
this?
the photograph 124, Stuart 124?
So it was a document that was found in the garbage can. It was referenced second quarter earnings from, looks like a talk about finances.
Who is it addressed to, this document?
Equity Partners?
From Leo Howell?
Yes.
What date was it?
It was dated June 12th of 2018.
And regards, what does it say? For reference?
So it says, reference second quarter earnings. Want me to continue to read it, or?
Yeah, if you could, just for the record.
So it says enclosed are the following estimated earnings through the second quarter of 2018 and a summary income statement through May 31st, 2018. Second quarter live tax draw check, or if you elected direct deposit, you can do your stuff on, looks like myburr.com, but it's all wrinkled, so I can't.
Right, and then there's, says LRH and attachments.
Correct.
Stuart 125, did you find this in the garbage can?
Correct.
Can you, let me pull it down here. Stuart 125, what's it say at the top, the best you
So
can
it
make?
says estimated year-to-date earnings. It looks like it says cumulative by quarter.
If you could, there's 1, 2, 3, are there 4 columns on this piece of paper or this document?
Yes, sir.
And the left column, is it kind of by, it says something about by quarter and partner, is that right?
Correct.
And then what is listed in that column below alphabetically?
I mean, it looks, to a layperson, and to me, it looks like last names.
Okay? But it makes out a name, like, that's not gibberish, it's just like,
Correct.
about Jones, Joseph, Kavanaugh, Keller,
Those are all common last names that I've heard, so I would make the assumption that they would be last names.
appears to be alphabetically.
Yes.
The second column has a percentage of, 2018 percentage of partnership, is that right?
Yes.
And it has different percentages per person.
Correct.
Third column says YTD year-to-date earnings, 3/31/2018 first quarter.
Yes.
And then year-to-date earnings, 5/31/2018 second quarter.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Are some of these figures in money over $100,000?
Absolutely.
Some of it over $300,000?
Let's see. Yes.
What's he getting at?
Stuart, 126, what do we have here?
That looks like a 28.
Everybody loves to get this thing, don't think, the tax bill.
Absolutely. It's the 2018 tax statement for the 2155 per cell lane.
Cherokee County Board of Assessors, is that
Yes.
what's labeled at the top? So
Yes.
Stuart 126, who is it made out to?
It's made out to Gary W. Ferris and Melody W. Ferris.
So both names are on it, is that right?
Correct.
What's the address?
The address that we're here for today, 2155 per cell lane.
So 2155 per cell lane?
Yes, sir.
Official tax matter, and it says, it's an annual assessment notice date, May 14, 2018,
Yes.
and then last date to file written repeal, June 28, 2018.
Yes.
So for the property, current year fair market value of the property, what is that?
Looks like $1,036,900.
So $1,036,900?
Correct.
So little.
And that was the value of it back in 2018.
Correct.
Even
According to the
then.
county, yes.
I don't know.
Stuart, 127, what is this document?
It's a pay statement, a paper copy of a pay statement to address to Gary Ferris.
Stuart, 127, if you look at to the right over here, what is the period start date and the period end date?
It shows the month of May, so May 1st, 2018 to May 31st, 2018.
Okay. What is the pay group?
Birmingham Monthly, it says.
Was the job?
Partner equity.
That's what she said.
It has a pay rate.
It says $159.05, and I don't understand what that means as far as, but
I mean,
I don't know. I
actually,
feel
go to
like
Stewart. Go to Stewart 128.
okay. I feel like if this all had something to do with him being shot and chucked on a burn pile, it wouldn't just be scrunched up in a bin and left there, right?
Yeah.
Like this all just seems far too obvious. Yeah?
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's like this is it's almost like some TV show. It's like, oh, well, look what we found in the bin. Dun dun dun. It's too simple. It's like, come on now. Like, I don't think Scott's very smart or Melody. Like, I don't think they're like super smart, but they're not that stupid to just like leave the motive like scrunched up on a piece of paper in a bin in the barn. Please, come on.
Stewart 120, kind of the same thing,
correct.
just a clear copy.
Yes.
Now, this pay date is April.
That's from
of
April
2000
instead of May.
Pretty much very similar to the Stewart 127, but after, not the gross, but the net. What is the amount for that month?
It says, the total says $20,969.37.
Whose name is at the top there?
Gary W. Farris.
All right, in the trash can, maybe another trash can looks like.
Correct, there was two.
Stewart 129.
You know what a trash can looks like?
Stewart 130, what do we have here?
A bunch of soda cans, Mountain Dew cans.
What?
Jesus.
Empty cartons of cigarettes.
Would you consider that evidence if you had to use common sense and inference that he liked Mountain Dew?
Correct.
He was
And then
gonna
130.
die anyway.
Judge, can I just
That's
have
the
one more?
full sugar version, right?
Yeah.
Probably a good time for a break.
I think I'm done, just like, right?
My God.
Judge, I'm done.
All right, we'll take a short break. We'll take 10 minutes longer if y'all need to wander, but y'all can go down and get coffee.
I thought I
take
was
a smoke break.
unhealthy.
You can sit down. Yeah, you're good.
Jesus.
The dude was gonna die pretty soon anyway. Oh god, they put him out of his misery. Holy hell. Heart attack
Good
on
Lord.
the way.
When they did the autopsy, was his blood just sludge?
Oh. Lordy.
Oh, his poor arteries.
Oh. So, this is what, like, I don't allow my child or have in this house any full sugar, like, we call them soft drinks here, but you guys call them soda. We don't have any full sugar soda
I mean,
here at all.
the diet versions are probably even worse.
No, it's
But,
not.
Some of the
Why?
chemicals,
It's got no sugar.
yeah, but the chemicals they put in there are really bad.
Yeah, it's not as bad as drinking, like, basically a chocolate bar worth of sugar every time
Oh, I
you
agree.
have, yeah, yeah. And like, jury's out on the chemicals, but if it's a choice between that and your teeth falling out and getting really fat, I'll take the chemicals. Thank you. Okay, let's go.
Looking for evidence, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, when you got there on the 5th...
Aspartame, we don't have aspartame anymore.
Of course you
That got
don't.
taken away.
Pause.
Yes.
Now, in this case, you
What?
Of course. So yeah, okay, it was taken away. No wonder your Diet Coke is healthier.
You guys still have aspartame?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Oh, yuck.
Do you have fluoride in your water?
No, not anymore.
No. The fluoride in the
Why?
water is bad. We got to get rid of it. Get rid of all these chemicals.
Yeah.
Boy.
Why?
No, we have all that shit here. That's why
Oh.
RFK has a huge heart
No,
on and is
aspartame
coming in.
aspartame got taken away, and it actually, I remember I occasionally I've tasted an overseas drink and it has aspartame in it, and it tastes really bad.
Yeah.
Like it's got this aftertaste to it. Like Ilya and I were talking about this backstage yesterday, and I was just saying that you guys sugar tastes weird as well. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's was it like corn syrup or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes really weird.
Yeah. It's not
So
real
it's,
sugar.
it's not cane sugar.
Hmm.
Cane sugar is the deal.
No.
Anyway,
And
off
we're like,
topic.
yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Didn't talk to Detective Hayes when you first got here.
I believe I went straight to the crime scene, who was leading the crime scene stuff, because they were already there.
Yeah, and that would have been Lieutenant Ballard.
Either Ballard or Shaw.
Okay. So those would have been the ones who were giving you directives on what you needed to do.
Oh,
Correct.
oh,
Your
Oh, we're on
understanding
cross.
that Detective Hayes
Sweet.
is the actual
Yeah.
detective who was in charge of the investigation.
Yes.
Okay. So Detective Ballard or Detective Shaw is in charge of the crime scene. Detective Hayes is in charge of the crime scene and interview.
Of the overall investigation, yes,
Okay.
because it all bleeds back into one another.
Okay. Did you ever talk to Detective Hayes about the case?
Have I? I mean, what you talking about while I was on scene, or are you talking
While
about?
you're on scene, within a relative, let's say on the 3rd or the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th.
I mean, I'm sure we spoke if we were both out there, but I don't remember the nature of our conversation.
So it would have been Ballard or Shaw that gave you your directive to begin with the barn.
Correct.
Okay.
why is this chick in the back even there? She's not paying attention at all.
Now I want to start. We're going to start with the tractor step, but
Oh, she's
we'll
like
go
me
to
streaming with Hella.
the Kubota because you had done a lot of
Okay, the
photographs
Kubota.
of
Let's talk the Kubota.
Now you had taken touch DNA, right?
Correct.
You took 9 swabs from all over the Kubota.
Yes, I can give you the locations that I took it if you need me to.
Well, I was going to go through them, so just go ahead and
Live
list off the
tweeting.
locations where you took the contact swabs.
Okay. So the first swab was obviously, I talked about using a control sample initially whenever we take them. So the first swab was the control sample, so it was just right out of the package into the box. The second sample was from the steering wheel. The third sample was from the 3-point hitch lever. That's the lever that raises the implement on the back up and down on the tractor. The power takeoff switch, that's what turns on the PTO that actually if you have a push hog or a mower or something that runs off a power takeoff on the back, it runs that. The fifth one was the hand throttle lever, which is like the gas pedal of a car, which throttles the engine up. The sixth one was the loader control, which is basically an arm that lifts the bucket on the front of the tractor up and down. The seventh was the directional shifter, which basically forward reverse. The eighth was there's a handle on the left side of the tractor up on the fender, on the rear fender, that she allows to grab to get on and off. That was the eighth, excuse me. And the ninth was the ignition key itself.
So you took those 9 swabs.
Correct.
And eventually you packaged them up.
Correct.
And placed them in evidence.
Correct.
To your knowledge, were those swabs ever tested?
I don't know if they were tested or not.
Do you know whether or not they were sent to the crime lab?
I don't know.
Looking at number 35, the blood drop on the stair. Did you ever do any Blue Star testing on that?
I know when we on scene, I didn't, but Lieutenant Ballard sprayed the Blue Star on it after the evidence was collected, the swab was collected, and they also sprayed the RTV as well on scene.
Okay. And you took that sample, right?
You talking about collecting the blood sample right here?
Yes.
Yes,
you
I
took
did,
that
sir.
sample. And you packaged that up and that was self.
Correct.
Okay. Do you know if the results of that ever came back?
My understanding that it did.
Okay. So touch DNA, you don't know whether or not it was tested, but you believe that was tested.
Correct.
Okay. And by that I mean the photo states 35.
I don't know what any touch DNA
Now,
from any
with
of these
this
people on that
Blue
tractor
Star,
would
do you have to be
mean
specifically
at
trained
all.
into how to use it?
I mean, there's
So
no
what?
formal training class. I mean, there's directions on the package of how you mix it. Once it's mixed, you spray it. I mean, I've used stuff like Blue Star and Luminol on scenes. I've also used it in photography when I took my crime scene photography class. So, I mean, I guess you could say per se it's training because you have to have different settings on the camera to take pictures like this. So there's no formal like Blue Star class or no formal, I would assume, no formal class for spraying chemical reagents or agents like this. But on the job training, plus I've used stuff like this in my photography class and stuff to learn how to take photographs of it.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's talk. You said that you got to mix it. Like if I went to bluestar.com, ordered some, got it. Is it like a powder that I mix with water?
I want to say it's tablets, I believe.
You believe it's tablet? What
yes.
do you mix it with?
Sterile water. So
Sterile- okay.
yes.
It has to be sterile water?
Correct. Usually, yes. So you drop it in the water, you mix it, and then you spray it. And it tells there's directions on the. I don't know without looking at the package, but there's directions on it. Parts per whatever, part water per tablet, or if that makes sense.
Okay. No, it makes sense. In this case, with the Blue Star that was sprayed on the RTV, was, to the best of your knowledge, who mixed that?
I want to say Ballard did. I don't remember mixing it, but
It wasn't you.
I don't think it was me. No.
Okay. Now with the, and I'll get to the RTV in a minute. Did you do any Blue Star testing on the actual tractor bucket?
I don't remember on scene. I know that it was later collected and taken to our evidence bay and redone by other techs, but I don't remember spraying it on scene.
Okay. And you went as a crime scene technician. I assume you went over that tractor with a fine-tooth comb.
Yes.
Okay. Did you find any blood or anything in the bucket?
No.
Okay.
No
that
blood
one
in the
drop,
bucket.
On stage 35.
You talking about the photo? Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Now, that photo also, you had previously testified, you can't make any type of determination of whether or not that's a 90-degree drop, a smear, or anything
It
like
could
that.
be a
or
90
transfer.
degree. It could be a transfer. There's no way I can
Berries.
conclusively give you an answer.
So basically, an easier
Don't
way to
think
say
we
that
do
would
in
be
Queensland.
is You cannot show any way that, you don't know how that got there.
Correct.
If we do, then
Now, you
it's
also talked about with the blue
not
Star,
in the levels that
is
it used to be.
It reacts to iron, right?
Yes.
All right, but you can also spray it. Because I assume the package, did it come with any information about, hey, this information will
need
get
to
false positives?
Google it.
I don't know if the directions do. I know that through my on-the-job training and other stuff, I know that, obviously, what we discussed earlier, false positives do exist, because obviously it'll fluoresce for iron itself, but it's a different type of fluorescence. It fluoresces quick and turns off. Imagine flipping a light switch on and off really quickly.
Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. So, let's say I sprayed it right here on the floor, right? And it lit up. And it's possible that if you can light up, I can take a photograph of it and you can see it, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I think you actually said it pops real quick and then
It'll pop. If it's just iron, it'll pop real quick and disappear. So you'd have to be extremely fast with your camera to be able to make that happen if you're going to do both.
Okay. Do you recall, did you do any of the Blue Star testing on any of the
Welcome.
towels or hand cloths found inside the home?
No, I did not.
Okay. Now, the RTV, since we're on Blue Star, you remember what the RTV looked like, right? Okay. Orange, side by side.
Correct.
Right? All right, now, you had stated in your direct examination that Lieutenant Ballard had sprayed Blue Star essentially all over the RTV, and it fluoresced.
In various locations, yes.
Okay. Now, so that stuff fluoresced, and you had taken, already at this point in time, because you did the tractor first, right?
Correct.
All right, so you're doing the tractor first, and then you go to help with the RTV, and it fluoresced with Blue Star, but you didn't take any swabs of the RTV.
Correct.
Okay. None from the bed, none from the inside?
I didn't take any on scene, though.
Okay. Going back to the tractor real quick.
Yes, sir.
On
Welcome here.
good picture.
Good to
Yeah,
have
there was
you.
some other testing done on it later, but I just wanted to ask you. This is Stewart 21.
We're doing our best here, David, to be impartial and just like watch the trial from the start and go, okay, well, we know she was found guilty, but she reckons that it was Scott, so he looks pretty sus to us. So we'll start again. She said that there wasn't enough Blue Star sprayed around and there would have been more evidence. Okay. Cool. So as far as we're concerned, she's innocent till proven guilty in this court. So cool. And because we didn't really get to watch it, like we didn't actually watch it. Like most of us here, I think, only saw little bits of it.
Yeah.
In between other things. So cool. We're happy to like watch it and really make a decision as if we are the jury. So welcome here. Welcome.
You can see the seat in that, right?
Correct.
Do you recall when you were looking at the tractor, was the seat on the tractor, was it pushed all the way backwards?
I
You
don't
know, you
know. I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall whether or not you would have manipulated the seat while you were taking photographs and taking the contact swabs?
If I would have done anything while looking for evidence, typically tractor seats will fold up, so if you grab for transport, you can grab the back and flip them up. I may have done that to look underneath it, but I don't recall moving it forward or backwards.
Okay. I want to go ahead. During the break, I had showed you what had been previously marked as Stewart Defense 1 through 4, and then Stewart Defense 14 through 30, I believe. Do you have those photographs?
I do, sir.
And when you reviewed those, are those fair and accurate depictions of the photographs you took that day?
I would agree, yes, sir.
Judge, at this point in time, we move into defense exhibits 1 through 4 and 14 through 30 Stewart Defense.
All right. I said what.
All right, good.
I think Stewart is going to be I think I've got it sorted out, but so we're going to look at one first, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's photographed inside the barn.
Okay.
And in that photograph, looks like you got a water hose leading over to a drain, and then on the right side of the photograph, it looks like it's connected to a water outlet.
Yes.
Okay. Was this area of the barn, to the best of your knowledge, was there any Blue Star ever used?
I didn't do it. I don't know if anybody else did, but I don't think so.
Did you take any swabs for potential DNA around any part of this part of the barn?
I did not know.
Okay. Now, number 2. I'll give it a test run. 2. That does nothing.
Just so you can click on top of it.
Let's see. That did nothing either. So,
I can see if
2.
it helps. I can see the mouse moving around up here on the screen. So
Okay. No, we're just trying to figure out if I can make it move smoother. This photograph is just essentially the same as number 1, just showing a different angle.
correct, sir.
All right. Stewart Defense 3. Can you tell the jury what that is?
It's a drain. It's in the floor of the barn.
Now, is that the same drain that you can see in 1 and 2?
Correct.
All right. And to the best of your knowledge, was any Blue Star used there or any DNA taken?
Not that I know of, no, sir.
And number 4, that's just a close-up
It's
picture of the
a
drain?
close-up picture of the drain to show the mulch and stuff that's on the drain.
Okay. And just to keep things in order, I'm going to go ahead and close those.
Okay, so what he's trying to
Now, turn your
do
attention
is
to
show
Number 14.
that it's possible that there was blood in the barn, right? And who lived in the barn?
Okay. So trying to just get that for closing.
Well, I don't know, but
To argue
like, or to argue, because when Scott gets on the stand, and I haven't seen Scott's testimony,
Yeah.
but I expect he's going to talk about how Scott lived in the barn when he was there. Like, he didn't live there all the time, but when he stayed at the farm, that was his place to live. He lived in the barn area at the top, like above the where we were seeing the photos. There's a house area at the top. And yeah, so question is, how is the defense going to try and work in what he's bringing in here? Because she also said in her sentencing, well, why didn't they have more Blue Star? Why didn't they find more evidence? And I didn't really understand what she was talking about, but clearly she wanted to show that he was somewhere else, like that there was more evidence elsewhere on the farm that possibly connected it to Scott.
Sounds like they didn't really investigate as thorough as they could.
No, yeah, well, that's what she was saying. And yeah, she even said to the judge, she's like, if you overturn this verdict, I will work with the prosecutors in every way possible to help. As if he's going to just sit there and overturn the verdict.
Well, yeah, and he really can't, but, you know.
I think he can.
Well,
but that would take a judge with big balls, and there aren't many
and then the
judges with big
prosecutor
balls.
could appeal it, so.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's interesting that a defense attorney at the moment is going, oh, but look at this photo. Did you test that? Did you test that? And because it looks like he's trying to say that there's blood there, right? Why would you be looking for more blood? As a defense attorney, why? Why are you bringing that up?
Defense 14.
Yes, sir.
Now, in that photograph, that's upstairs in the apartment, correct?
It looks to be, yes, sir.
All right. And you're aware that that was Scott Farris's apartment?
Correct.
When did you learn that that's where Scott Farris or
What the hell he uses an iron?
Did you see Scott's
I can't give you an
bathroom
exact
versus
timeline
the rest
when
of
I
his
learned that, but it was on
apartment? Oh
scene
my
right
God, so
afterwards.
guilty.
Okay.
No.
So that is, I don't know why it's decided to change. So that's 15. Is that a photograph looking into the bedroom of the apartment?
I mean, if we go to the next one, I would say yes. Looking at 16, the next photo, yes, I would say it's going into the bedroom.
So much taint.
The same dressers.
This is so
in the
tainted.
photo.
Okay. So that would have been, at least you know now, that would have been Scott Farris's bedroom?
Correct.
Okay. That was 14, 15, 16.
Yes, sir.
That's Scott's bedroom. Are they going to show his bathroom now?
And I'm going to show you now what is defense 17. That's the sink in the bathroom of the apartment.
I would agree with that, yes, sir.
Okay. And 18, that is the bathtub in the apartment.
Yes.
And number 19 is also the bathtub.
Can I hire
Yes.
this guy to clean my bathroom?
Now, regarding this bathroom, were any Blue Star sprayed or any swabs taken anywhere in the bathroom?
Not to my knowledge, sir, no.
Oh.
Now back to.
A non-gay bachelor with no professional help, and that's how his
No.
bathroom looks.
Well, let's go there. What's your next number you have up there?
The one that I have after is 20, which is it's the picture of the side of it. Looks like side of a bed with a dog crate with pillows on top of it.
Okay, let me do this real quick.
Interesting.
Same
It says
Bob.
it says D20 on it.
D20, that's fine.
That's
All
it.
right, so you can see it. All right, so D20, that's in the bedroom.
I would assume because there's a bed right next to it. So
All right. And you
Dirty
see there's dog feces all
apartment,
over the
fresh
bed?
and clean
Yes.
bathroom.
Did you see that a lot throughout the apartment?
I mean, I'd have to go back and review every single photo to look at it, but I mean, there was some. You can see the pictures, the next couple pictures in various locations.
Okay. Well, for the next picture, Stewart Defense 21.
You can do all
see
kinds of
that's also in the
shower
bedroom?
texts in there.
Okay. You also found, anywhere you photographed, a credit card for Gary Farris, Bank of America. Do you recall that? And that's photograph 23, or I'm sorry, 22.
22. I don't recall where it was found or anything, but
Okay.
if
Do
it's
you
in my
know-
string of photos, I took it. So
Did you, well, my question is, did you find it and don't recall, or did you just take a photograph and another detective found it?
I don't know.
Okay.
So whether I was with another detective or whatever, and they found it, I know I take pictures to document everything.
I know, would it be fair, though, that if you found this, it was in the barn?
I mean, if you say so, but I mean, if it's in with the barn photos, then yes, it was in the barn.
It was in the barn. All right. So that's 22. And then 23 is a photograph of a laptop with an Under Armour sticker on it. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And do you recall where that was found?
I would assume in the barn, but I don't know exactly where in the barn.
Okay. Now, with that laptop, do you recall, was that laptop packaged up and taken into evidence?
I don't know if it was taken or not. I photographed it, but I don't know if one of the detectives took it.
Okay. And turn your attention now to 24. Is the computer's open, and then you have this series of letters and numbers, looks possibly passwords. Did that have any significance to you, or you're just documenting?
I'm just documenting.
Do you know whether or not that, along with the, or was that in the computer taken into evidence, or you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. Just took the photograph and
Typically, when you're photographing a crime scene, you document everything you can and
move on.
move on. Yes.
Okay.
You document everything you can. Yeah. Well,
Now, you also
you
you had
didn't.
testified with Mr. Fogus that you had also found several bullets, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me go ahead and pull this up. You recall out at the scene, or in the barn actually, you found 38 caliber special bullets.
Correct.
Right? You took some photographs. I don't have those photographs up, but you also found some 380 bullets. You recall that?
Without looking at the pictures, no, but I remember. I mean, I took pictures of multiple different calibers of ammunition.
Okay. And you also, and Mr. Fogus had showed you on direct examination the 32 caliber pistol.
Correct.
Right? And that pistol had the ammunition in it.
It had 6 rounds in it. Correct. Unfired.
Do you recall finding any specifically 32 caliber ammunition at the scene?
I don't recall.
Okay. Now, 38 special. Do you know what kind of bullet was supposedly used in this case?
I mean, I've learned after the fact of 38, but I mean, I'm just documenting possibly. I was just documenting what the bullets I found on the scene.
At this point in time, when you're actually taking this photograph, you were just documenting it, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, did you find any 38 special handguns in the barn?
No.
So,
There were several guns in the barn, the rifles and, you know,
We'll get to that
and
in a
then
second.
the 32 caliber, but I don't remember a 38.
okay, we'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
So 25, this is a photograph of a box of 38 special ammunition.
Yes.
So 25, 26 is showing a full box of ammunition.
Correct.
27, just a close-up of 38 special.
Correct.
And 28 is just another photograph of 38 special box.
Yes.
Correct, okay. All right. So, you also went out to the main house and searched out there, correct? Or you assisted
I assisted Hayes and Carter in different times.
Okay.
I helped Hayes in various areas and Carter in various areas.
Now, out at the main house, did you find or photograph any bullets?
I don't remember, honestly.
But you do recall, well, is it fair to say that the only place you recall finding ammunitions and firearms in this case is in the barn?
Ooh.
Yes.
Is that her trial coming up?
And you
Becca?
also documented, while out at the barn, other ammunition that was found. You recall that?
Yes, looks like it looks like a drawer of a dresser.
Okay. And by looking at Stewart Defense 29, can you see what type of ammunition that is?
Yeah, no, looks like a 38 special.
Okay. And that is, you got 3 38 specials in Stewart 29, 2 other ones in Stewart 30, is that correct?
Yes.
And then in Stewart 31, 2 other 38 specials?
Yes.
Or it could be the same 2. Do you recall how many bullets were found in the drawer?
I don't.
Thank you.
Okay. You had talked about, with Mr. Focus, you talked a little bit, like you've had some training in blood spatter analysis.
Yes.
The 90-degree drops. When you were in the house, did you notice any blood drops in the house?
When I was walking around, I noticed some blood, but I didn't really pay attention to the 90-degree drops because I'd
What?
been tasked to focus on certain things.
Where?
Help me with this, help me with this, help me with this.
Okay. Is it fair to say that, and I'm just speaking generally, okay?
Okay.
So if the blood falls straight down, I think you testified on direct that you will get just a circle.
Now you might get some splash depending on how high it comes from, but
Where was the
typically,
blood?
A blood droplet when it comes off of an object is round due to the viscosity of the blood. So when it hits, it'll be round. Now you're going to get obviously splash off of it, but the initial drop is round. Yes.
Okay. It gets round with some splash.
Potentially, yes.
Now, what if the source of the blood is in motion? You would get then like a splash that goes with the motion.
You can technically. So like, you tell directionality of blood drops by tails. So if you look at any kind of blood spatter, you'll be, if it's, let's say I had it on my fingers and I slung it. The blood drop as it hit the wall would be elongated. Imagine skipping a stone, right? So the blood drop would be elongated when it hit, and then it would some more of it would come off and basically make a tail. So it would look like imagine a tadpole on the wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or on the floor or whatever.
And the tail would be behind.
The tail would be the direction that it's going.
The tail is the direction it's going.
Right. So imagine, because I think it's force. So when I do this, it was on my fingers. It's going to hit and impact, and it's going to basically point in the direction that it's going.
Okay. And would that be the same if the person was walking or running?
And it depends, but could.
It could be. Okay.
Yes.
So you theoretically, you should be able to, or you can, like if you had a blood trail, tell the direction of the blood trail. That is a possibility.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Focus had also, there was a lot of photographs of I'm not going to pull them back up, of the tack room. There's a lot of ropes and chains and things like that you testified that you saw.
Yes.
With that, did you take, or if you know, did any of the other investigators take any of those things into evidence?
Not that I know of.
Did you find any ropes or chains inside the main house separate from the barn?
I don't recall seeing any, no.
Okay. So
Ropes
it's fair to
and
say that the only
chains
place
in
you
the
found
main
any ropes and chains
house.
would have been in the barn.
No.
Correct.
Okay. 1 second, because it was real far down. Mr. Focus, to talk to you about States 125. I just want to ask you, because you found States 125, which is the partner equity form?
Correct. It came out of the, that's one of the things that came out of the garbage can downstairs.
Okay. Anywhere on that list do you see Gary Farris's name or the name Farris?
If you'll give me just a second, let me review it.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. You don't see Gary's name? Yeah.
No, but it's in alphabetical order, and
Why,
so there would
Gary,
be no way that
why?
there's an F on there for Ferris. If you look, it's all in alphabetical order.
Correct. And so, and you would have taken everything that was in that trash can and laid it down, took photographs, correct?
Correct.
And that wasn't in there?
Correct.
Okay. Also, State 126, this is the tax bill you testified about?
Yeah, it's a tax statement, yes.
All right, and you'll see that tax bill is in the name of Gary and Melody.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Now, you spent a good portion of July the 6th helping Detective Hayes look for the alleged firearm, correct?
We looked in several locations in the house, the closet, the study, various locations.
Okay. Didn't find anything inside the house?
Is finding a firearm?
Yeah.
We didn't find a firearm, no.
Yeah. Yeah, so no firearms in the house. You also searched the compost pile for firearms?
Yeah, so we took I think that was actually on the first day, because the compost pile was directly in front of the tractor. So one of the investigators on scene, Corporal Olenek, he grabbed the metal detector and to kind of metal detect that area around where the compost pile was. And myself and Investigator Duncan took shovels and also moved stuff around, through the compost pile and in various areas around the compost pile while he was using the metal detector in search of any sort of evidence, firearm, you name it.
Okay. You had also talked about, with the trash can, that you had taken swabs of the trash can.
Correct.
Do you recall whether those were packaged up and placed into evidence?
They were.
Were they sent off to the crime lab to be tested to the best of your knowledge?
I would assume so, but I don't want to say for certain under oath.
Okay. Yeah, if you don't know, you don't know.
So,
There was also the Detective Hayes had called you to photograph some shoes and a shirt that you found.
correct.
Correct. Now, do you know, or did you see Detective Hayes find the shirt?
I don't recall if I was in the room when he found the shirt or not.
Okay. So you don't know where the shirt was located in the house.
I believe the shirt was in a closet, but I'm not 100% sure. No.
Okay. So, like, if I asked, was it hanging up? Was it in the dirty clothes? Was it on the floor? You don't know.
That I don't know, no.
Okay. And you photographed that shirt, correct?
Correct.
Right. And also, you photographed 2 sets of shoes.
Correct.
There was one set of shoes that you didn't actually do the swabbing for the preliminary blood test, correct?
Correct.
All right, that was another investigator?
Yeah, but I don't remember which one it was, honestly.
Okay. And did you take those items into your possession, or did Detective Hayes take those items?
I did not take those items into my possession to be processed as evidence, so I would assume it would have been one of the detectives.
Okay, so you were strictly photographing them?
Correct.
Okay. Give me just 1 second. Lieutenant.
Yes, sir?
So I think the thing I find interesting is what they chose to swab. It's like you choose to swab bins, you choose to swab bits of equipment, but then you don't choose to swab drains.
Yeah.
You know, like that's drains are where evidence of cleanup would be, right?
This is State's Exhibit Riley 1. It's a calendar there. You were there, so July 2018. July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You went there July 5th, is that right?
5th and 6th, yes.
All right. Do you know anything about what occurred in the evening of July 3rd?
I do not.
Do you have any idea, or were you involved in the time of death when Gary was shot and killed?
No.
How about on July 4th? Were you there at all?
No, I believe the initial 911 call came out on the 5th, which is for what we're here at court for.
Tainted.
So, I went out there that night, but I didn't go out there
So
before that.
All right, so
tainted.
July 3rd, July 4th, those 2 days, didn't know what was going on at the property or anything, right?
No clue, sir.
Did you find the gun that was used in this case?
No.
So it was missing?
Yes.
But you found bullets and things like that in the barn?
Yes.
But there were several days that passed, but no gun was found.
Correct.
And you were asked about things that you found in the barn. Do you know, was there any towels that were wet or in dryers or washer or dryer or anything in the barn?
I don't remember, honestly.
Was there any clothing that looked like it had suit or anything like that in the barn?
In the barn? No.
Any shoes that were wet or other shoes that had possibly blood on them?
In the barn? No.
Sure.
No, not in the barn.
Nothing like that in the barn?
No.
David just called me. Well, his son.
Called you?
His son called me.
Really?
Yeah.
Just trying to ask
Control
you
me.
a good question. Did you find any blood to the naked eye or anything like that in the barn? Any indication that there was blood there?
No, sir.
Nothing further on.
Yes. And Stuart, with that, what that is.
It looks like it's a dresser drawer, a nightstand drawer. It's a photograph of the items that are in it.
Okay, and is that fair and accurate depiction?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, we can move to Senator Stewart, defense 31.
Motion.
And, Judge, I'll test out taping. Sorry.
But he
Stand up
didn't
here
check
for me.
the mailboxes.
Oh, right here. Okay. Hey, look, work. Lieutenant Stewart, do you recall if the drawer we were talking about earlier in the barn apartment, is that a photograph of it?
I don't remember, but I mean, it could be.
Okay. And well, you can see right here, because we were talking about bullets earlier in
Correct.
Stewart 30 and 32, or I'm sorry, 29, 30, and 31.
Yes, sir.
You can see I'm pointing to them right now, kind of in the center of the photographs. Those are the bullets you were taking photographs of?
I mean, I would guess so, yes.
Okay.
If it's the same drawer, then yes.
Okay. And also, on the barn upstairs, because we had talked a lot, or a little bit about, the animal feces in the barn.
Yes.
Oh, whatever, you turn it off, Judge? Just leave it? Oh. And so,
Tired of your son's
that upstairs
antics.
barn was fairly dirty, right?
And it was lived in, yes.
Yeah, okay.
No
But
buck
if we
up
look
in
at
chat.
Number 17, you'd agree with me, that is quite the clean sink, right?
I mean, it's cleanish, yes, but you look in the corners, there's stuff all in the corners of the sink.
Okay. What about the bathtub, though? Stewart defense area.
Looks like a bathtub.
Okay. Clean, though, right?
Cleanish, yeah.
And you get that up here on top, looks like a magic eraser.
That's what it looks like to me.
And then in 29, still clean, right?
Yes.
Okay. And not that it was your responsibility, but to
Jesus.
the best of your knowledge, there was no luminol or any DNA or anything taken
Not
from the
that I
back.
know of, sir, no.
Okay.
Like,
And
wow.
I wish I could get my bathroom that clean.
Right?
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Anything, Mr. Fergus?
There you go.
All right, you sit down. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to hire
Next
this
witness.
guy.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, David
point.
Relt. Sorry, I can't say your second name, for being in chat, because that really alerted us to something that we probably wouldn't have noticed.
No.
But what I would have noticed is that the defense is really going down the line of looking at the barn area, as in not just the downstairs, but where Scott was living. Because out of the gate, the defense is pushing the whole look at Scott thing. And I didn't even, like, I had a feeling from the way people were commenting on social media and things that Scott had been a target of the defense, but clearly they didn't go far enough.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't enough to push the jury to reasonable doubt. But there you go. If there had been more testing done, perhaps they would have found something up in the bathroom area, because you can't hide everything, right? You're gonna find something. If you go looking, you're gonna find something. He could clean that thing to look as shiny and spotless as he likes. There will be some DNA there,
Yeah.
right? There will be something to show that he cleaned himself up, that there was blood, there was some evidence of him murdering his dad, if he did murder his dad. If he came in from shooting his dad and then taking his dad to the burn pile, then, and he cleaned himself up in there and he was a mess, and then he went to all that effort to clean up the bathroom afterwards, there'd be something left. There'd be something left. You can't fix that just with, some bleach and things like that. And there'd be something left also in leading through to the bathroom as well. So there'd be some track marks or something like that. So it's so interesting the way, kind of what the defense said in their opening statement is confirmation bias. So right from the beginning, Scott was pointing the finger at the mum and was leading them to believe that the mother was the culprit, and they believed it, and everything that continued to happen from there onwards was just confirming that. And so they didn't even go and look at anything further. And this just proves it, doesn't it? So they didn't go and test areas of his living quarters. It's annoying. It's annoying when stuff like that happens, because, like I said before, wouldn't you look at drains?
Yeah.
Like all the drains in the property. It can't be that difficult. Drains where it's possible that that the humans living in the house or the property would have cleaned themselves up.
In Mark Jensen, the investigation, they took the P traps, or the P traps, or S traps, whatever it's called, out of the sinks underneath, and collected the water in there to test it. Like, that's how detailed they got.
Not a mark, but zero testing. David says, they came back deadlocked at first. I think the biggest doubt is how Melody could have possibly moved Gary's body. Right? It's still my biggest doubt. Right? It's enough of a doubt, well and truly enough of a doubt to stop you from having enough to convict somebody beyond a reasonable doubt. And this is what bothers me about so many jury trials, is that jurors just don't understand what beyond a reasonable doubt is. That is a reasonable doubt. If anything's a reasonable doubt, that's it, right? So you don't have to prove that Scott did it at all, right? You just have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she did it. And there's so many doubts, actually, but that's the biggest one. Because how on earth did she get him there? And they didn't, as far as I can tell, I'm going to watch it, but as far as I can tell, the state did not prove that she could get him there at all. Right? They didn't give enough of an explanation to show that it's possible that she could have gotten this man to that burn pile. They didn't even really answer where he was shot, or like what the scenario was that led to him being on the burn pile. There's so many doubts, and I know they were deadlocked. I know they deliberated for quite a long time, and I think they were pressured in the end. I think that whoever the holdout was or holdouts were, they were pressured in the end.
Oh yeah, they always are.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I'd really like to, next time we do a stream on this, I'd like to take a little break from testimony and watch that juror interview, and just have a little bit of a look at what that woman had to say, because that really pissed me off, that juror interview. That really got me, because she was just like making up shit all over the place. It really annoyed me. Yeah. Anyway, cognitive dissonance, ignoring reasonable doubt. Yeah, like that defense attorney put that chart up to show what reasonable doubt was and didn't explain it properly, and just glossed over it, and then went on with his opening statement. Below reasonable doubt was clear and a deeply held belief. I think most jurors think that all they need is a deeply held belief, like and they go with that. Oh, I deeply believe it. No, that's not enough. You need to explore doubts.
Yeah.
Grr, makes me so mad. Bless you. Who are you, Kranick?
I just need
Now, Now, on that, tomorrow we are taking a break from this tomorrow because we are doing this instead. Hang on. Tomorrow we are doing this. Yay. I get to play the Sarah song tomorrow.
Yay.
We get to change songs and go back to Sarah's song tomorrow for a little bit. You just need a scintilla to vote guilty. Oh, you're naughty. You forgot to find an emoji. Yeah, you need... Oh, you want goats? Sweet. Okay. Yeah, I'll do you a goat emoji. That way, whenever we play the baby goats at the beginning, we can use baby goats. Sweet. You right?
Me? Yeah.
Hello, Babu. Hi. Yeah, did you miss it, Beautiful Waterfall? Oh my God, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
Usually Beautiful Waterfall's telling me. She wrote a 13-page letter to Kranick, super mad at him and his biases towards her. Not kidding. Yeah, she big mad.
Hella and Junior will discuss it tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, I can't believe it. Usually you're right on top of this stuff, Beautiful. Ha! I win for once. It's a Boona letter. Yeah, we're on. You have not read it? Good. Yeah. Are you reading it all of it tomorrow's video? Yes, we are. Yeah, try and wait. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to read it tomorrow. Yes, we're going to do a dramatic reading of the Screw You, Kranick letter tomorrow. And do you love that screenshot of her? That's at her at the sentencing, just before the sentencing starts, and she does looks
Poor
back
thing.
and does a side eye. Like that.
Main judge.
Narcissist. Ilya's going to read all 13 pages. We might take it in turns. Oh my god, she put the unedited statement in the letter. She is beyond sick, man. Did she?
No,
I don't know. I haven't read it
yeah.
yet. I haven't read it yet. But yeah, we'll have some fun with that. That'll be great. We might even put a beat to it. All right, that's tomorrow. Now, Ilya, you're doing something tomorrow.
Yes. I am covering a judge. Where'd it go? Judge Fleischer. He is a judge in Texas. We are going to look at how judges do trial on YouTube, and if we're going to start with, oh, why don't I just show you my head?
Please, no.
Sorry, kitty. I don't like. I have a loose plan of what I want, but whenever I do a new topic, what usually happens is it goes completely in a different direction.
Yeah.
So I'm not like. I'm just kind of leaving it up in the air to see where this goes. And but it should be interesting. And yes, he is a clown. Well, I don't know how much he's playing it up for the camera, and if the idea of a judge on YouTube who kind of plays it up for the camera is a good idea. But we'll see.
Cool. All right. So what time's that?
4:30.
Cool. All right, sweet. Okay, so that'll be Ilya tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and then I'm on at 6 p.m. Eastern. So come and watch us both. It'll be fun. Yes. It's holiday season, Christmas time, so enjoy some laughs. And next week, it's looking like being Wednesday, I am doing my summer Christmas stream, and I'm going to have guests. Only a couple have been invited so far, but I do have Andrea.
I have not been invited yet, by the way.
No, I haven't decided if he's invited yet.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep, we'll see. All right, cool. So, yep, keep that day free. That's Wednesday next week. And, yeah, that's cool. Big day tomorrow is going to be fun. Michigan judges on YT are not clowns. Yeah, right. Cool. Alrighty, sweet. Let's go. Oh, what's this? Is this the guy I turn into a clown with my awesome Photoshop skills?
No, that's Gosney's friend.
Oh, right.
No, Wade's lawyer.
Time for the song. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Yeah. It's been great fun.
Great seeing you, David Ralt.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. Thank you for your input. I hope you come back.
Yeah, we'll probably do this again Monday, I think.
Yeah, sorry. What day is it today for you guys? Today's Thursday here.
Or Wednesday. Sorry.
It's your Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. So we probably I might do one of these on the weekend, don't know, but just put your notification bells on.
Yeah.
Put your bells on.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Song time. Time for the song.
Her name was Helen. She was an Aussie. She was
Australian.
From the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Donnie and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803. To the attention, excited utterance. Her cat is